that are flying, on maps mystifying. You'll think that I'm lying, this old tale of mine, a journey through time. A permanent fire, cold frost on the pyre. Fruit never expires, you've seen in your eyes, you've seen in your life. While the old bow their heads, while the blind leave the blind, the marble loses shine, the eye clouds by design. But we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth, that if we believe we can make miracles. Even with the devils of time against you, never let the fire fade in you. See the golden goddess with wings of rainbows, set sail through the night sky to embrace you. Resist, allow your heart to take you. Never let this merciless world erase you. Passing down the light of the torch to guide you, and you shall be bathed in light. A punch to the forehead, my kick like a warhead. You're pinned on the floor spread. I'm queen of this brawl, and I'll show you all.
I don't wanna hide it, that's what I decided. I can't live divided, I know I was wrong. I love you long.
While they all lose their way and forget about things.
While the rain turns to ice, their heart
Beside you, and our hope shall never die. The fires of love will never die.
I'm who they say is the best detective.
Although without me he's ineffective.
That's it, we're done. I'm walking out of here.
I know.
Welcome back.
While the old bow their heads, while the blind lead the blind, the marble loses shine, the eye clouds by design. But we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth, that if we believe we can make miracles. Even with the devils of time against you, never let the fire fade in you. See the golden goddess with wings of rainbows, set sail through the night sky to embrace you. Resist, allow your heart to take you. Never let this merciless world erase you. Passing down the light of the torch to guide you, and you shall be bathed in light. The invincible rainbow arrow. Teacups that are flying, on maps mystifying. You'll think that I'm lying, this old tale of mine, a journey through time. A permanent fire, cold frost on the pyre. Fruit never expires, you've seen in your eyes, you've seen in your life. While the old bow their heads, while the blind leave the blind, the marble loses shine, the eye clouds by design. But we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth, that if we believe we can make miracles. Even with the devils of time against you, never let the fire fade in you. See the golden goddess with wings of rainbows, set sail through the night sky to embrace you. Resist, allow your heart to take you. Never let this merciless world erase you. Passing down the light of the torch to guide you, and you shall be bathed in light. A punch to the forehead, I kick like a warhead. You're pinned on the floor spread. I'm queen of this brawl, and I'll show you all.
I don't wanna hide it, that's what I decided. I can't live divided, I know I was wrong. I love you long.
While they all lose their way and forget about things.
While the rain turns to ice, their hearts lock like a vice.
But we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth.
The fires of love can warm any heart. Resist, your dreams are worth defending. Fight on, your will is unbending. See through the void in your eye, unblinking. The pyramid of your mind unending. Revolt even with death impending. Live on, dream through space, rending. Walking with the spirit of hope beside you, and our hope shall never die. The fires of love will never die.
I'm who they say is the best detective.
Although without me he's ineffective.
That's it, we're done. I'm walking out of here.
I know.
Welcome back.
While the old bow their heads, while the blind lead the blind, the marble loses shine, the eye clouds by design. But we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth, that if we believe we can make miracles. Even with the devils of time against you, never let the fire fade in you. See the golden goddess with wings of rainbows, set sail through the night sky to embrace you. Resist, allow your heart to take you. Never let this merciless world erase you. Passing down the light of the torch to guide you, and you shall be there.
XboxEra Podcast is powered by you. And if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. And as a thank you for your support, you get cool stuff and we get to keep doing what we do. Now let's get into it. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 115 of the XboxEra Podcast. I'm Sika Mechanico, and I'm joined, as usual, by Special Nick.
What's going on?
Coincidentally, the name of this episode, because it's like, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know.
Nothing going on.
And this week, we're also joined by one of the review and video team here at XboxEra, Aarsal, aka Soulblazerz, frequent host, co-host, guest, participant of the You Had Me at Halo XboxEra podcast. How you doing, Soulblazerz?
Yo, doing pretty well.
Yo, is that
that's my generational thing right there. That's what we say.
You're down with the kids. New people get it. I like it. It's very inclusive. Yeah, we've got and of course it would be remiss of me not to mention that Jesse is hiding off camera, doing all the
I'm on camera.
Stuff. Boom,
And I'm
he
off camera.
appears.
Hello.
It's amazing. It's like the Overlord controlling.
Even as a fade out.
I know, it's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. 100 odd people watching right now. Lovely to see you all. I know there's not actually much going on in video gaming land, but as always, we start the show with what we've been playing, and we're going to start off with Soulblazerz. What have you been playing, Aarsal? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a fair bit. Back on Halo because I'm starting hopefully weekly Halo streams on the channel on Tuesdays. Me, Jesse, and Dan, we started a Gears playthrough last night.
Nice. Which Gears?
Five.
Okay.
Yeah. Started the first act, completed it. That game is gorgeous. Oh my god, it looks amazing.
Please, Coalition, give us something new.
Visually underrated.
Yeah.
Visually
Uncontestedly
underrated. Like I would put it above almost anything.
Yeah.
On any platform.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Platform X.
Hivebusters is the one where like all of the polish is there. Like that is
I haven't
because they
played
go to the
Hivebusters
jungle
yet.
and it's just Oh, you haven't played Hivebusters?
No, that's why I was excited to do this because the plan is obviously to finish this. Then
Hivebusters is the best Gears of War game since Gears of War 3.
Damn,
Wow.
that's high praise.
That is high. That's high praise.
Hivebusters is more where Gears should be heading back towards. In terms of its structure and its,
It's curious that they're sticking with 3 people co-op. Not too many games cap it at 3, or actually quite a few do.
I think it's probably a design decision as well. Like you have 3 paths. It's easier to confine things, smaller spaces. I think
Jesse
Gears for
running around.
me.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say Gears for me peaked when the line was uttered. They're sinking cities with a giant worm. That was Gears at its absolute best.
Gears
me.
2
That
was such a good game.
That's where I was
my
like,
god.
okay.
When I drowned in blood for the first time, I just stopped. I'm like, did that just happen?
Oh, Gears. Never change. But okay, good choice. Good choice. What about you, Nick?
Change. It needs to change a lot.
No, Gears 5 is a fantastic game, and most of us just can't wait for 6. Nick's wrong once again.
That's true.
I tell you what I think Gears needs to do. I like Gears, but I play through them once and I never play them again. That's your problem. So what they probably should do is have a Gears single player and it goes off, and then do a Gears of War multiplayer and just make it a platform and just constantly update that and stop trying to make it this big grandiose event, because the multiplayer comes out and it's got this very high skill ceiling, and then basically Xbox Mexico just play it forever and everywhere else is kind of left out. And that's Gears.
Super up there, by the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
More like Hivebusters.
I'm sure I will.
A bit more linear, a bit more focused, a bit more scary, a bit more.
Those are all good things.
That is the Gears direction. Take it there. Take it there.
What about you, Nick? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Still played. Went from the start to the finish of Ninja Turtles with my son.
Nice.
Because I wanted to do it co-op with him. He had a lot of fun. New season of Rocket League started not long ago, so of course started that. Making more progress in Fortnite, working towards getting Darth Vader, because I have to. It's the only reason I got the battle pass. I have to have Darth Vader. I've already killed him once, which means I got his lightsaber. It's nice. The lightsaber combat in Fortnite is legitimately good.
I am so lost.
Really good.
You killed Darth Vader in Fortnite, and you can use lightsabers in the game. What?
Fortnite's amazing. Like Fortnite and
Fortnite is
so
advertising
good.
The game. That's what Fortnite is.
So good though. It's so good. Like, because so Darth Vader is level 100 of this battle pass, but he's also become an event now in the game. So as you're flying in on the battle bus, you see Darth Vader's what's his ship called? You know that ship, that ship. It was in Obi-Wan.
It's
that ship he flies in.
It's
flies in with that.
I'm not that
ship.
big of a nerd.
Yeah, and you watch him land, and generally everyone. Just goes
it's called an
ship.
Imperial shuttle.
The Lambda class shuttle.
Oh,
you got to go for
that shuttle comes in and it lands somewhere on the island. Everyone goes for the island because there was a challenge to kill him. So I got very lucky that I did it on my second shot because he's also quite hard to kill. But I basically cherry picked him. Others had softened him up. Others had softened him up, and I just went in and went boop, boop, and got him.
Technical term.
And it's full PvP the entire time.
Pew pew. Because I also had a Imperial blaster, which I took off a stormtrooper. So I killed a stormtrooper, took the blaster off him, and finished Darth Vader off. Got my challenge, which was great. Took his lightsaber and just ran. I ran because there were so many people there. I'm like, I'm going to die. Because you can actually deflect with the lightsaber. If you hold down left trigger, it's a shield and you can just deflect bullets. Just like in Star Wars. It's, I know what I'm describing is crazy when you know what Fortnite is, but oh God,
I've just seen him on the stream using the Imperial Lambda shuttle as a hang glider. And I'm just like,
my God.
It's too much for me. So don't worry, audience. All 122 people watching. I'm going to bring you a little bit of class, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been playing this week, which is the Blade Runner Enhanced Edition that dropped out with no fanfare whatsoever. And ladies and gentlemen, as we've discovered, it's the gaming collective has discovered. Usually, when a game drops with no fanfare whatsoever, there's a very good reason. And as much as I was looking forward to playing it again on console,
apparently there's issues.
There are a number of issues. Now, if you've never played Blade Runner before, I would describe it as a point-and-click adventure game, but it's a little bit more than that. In fact, I would say it's arguably the genesis for a lot of narrative branching games that, it was one of the first. Every time you start a new game, new people can be the replicant, the big bad, including you, right? And it's different every time, and different things, and characters have their own motives, and they'll go about doing their own things. And you might go somewhere and one playthrough, the character's there doing something, and then the next time, well, you missed them.
And it's a single player game, right?
It's a single player detective mystery. You're a Blade Runner detective called Ray McCoy. And what was unique about it was the time was all of the backgrounds were effectively full motion video, and you were these kind of pixel art characters on top of this very visually at the time 1997 impressive world. And I feel bad for Night Dive here because there is a version that exists that Scum VM did that is
for GOG,
which is much better, but Night Dive were unable to utilize the work they had done and had to do it all on their own. And because of that,
they didn't have access to the source code. Yeah. So they reverse engineered it.
Yeah. And because of that, there is a number of somewhat glaring issues. Regardless, it is one of my favorite games of all time. For $7.99 UK, I think it's $10 in US. I would still recommend it even if you have a passing interest.
Australian.
20 Canadian. Even if you have a passing interest in Blade Runner, because it all takes place around the same time. And what I really loved, there was one moment, and I'll probably put it in the video review. You get ambushed by a character with a camera, And when you pick up the camera after he legs it, uses the flash to blind you. You find a photo, and you get to do the thing from the films where you do tick, 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 and you go in and you look.
Oh, that's cool.
And in the background of the shot, there is another Blade Runner at the counter in this market, and it's Deckard.
Oh,
and he's
cool.
investigating his crime, and it's just like that's kind of neat. But there's a lot of similar characters because it's all tied into a plot. I don't want to spoil it too much, but
what's the anniversary for Blade Runner or something? Because more Blade Runner news just came out today and yesterday.
I don't know.
Or not news. People just talking about how it released on the same day as the thing and things like that. And
yeah, I mean, regardless, there are a number of bugs. It has crashed. It has a very archaic save system, basically save all the time. The controls sometimes go a little bit wonky. Some of the transitions, the characters like move with the transition. It's a bit weird. It's a bit rough and ready, but for £8, I still think it's worth a punt. I'll have a full written review up and a video review next week. I'm trying to do a couple of playthroughs and do some different testing, and it's trying to make footage of a point and click game when you've had subtitles turned off look exciting. Tricky.
Can we unmod Rand?
Can we unmoderate him? What's he doing in there?
Can we? Because he's a mod. Can we demod him?
Why would we do that to our dear friend of the channel, Randall Thor 19?
Because he puts in stupid super chats.
But that's okay.
Super chat.
It's putting money in the bank. Money in the bank.
You know what I love, John? That Nick isn't playing Goldeneye. So good.
That's actually pretty accurate.
Really funny.
So good, unlike Goldeneye.
Oh, really funny.
Oh man, it's only video games. Let's all chill out. You know, it's been a rough week. Yeah, so
when Goldeneye comes, it's gonna dominate the Xbox charts. Watch it go to number 1 on the most played.
You know what might happen?
Number 1. It's gonna dethrone Fortnite.
The more realistic option is Pierce Brosnan comes into Fortnite, and that's how he gets to number 1.
Oh, they might do that. Can you imagine if they did that? They put
That'd
Bond in Fortnite at the same time that Goldeneye. Oh man, I'd be giving.
Wait, you're the one with the Fortnite leaks. You tell us.
So much of my money. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Pierce Brosnan being in Fortnite, but that would be damn cool.
I know it's not necessarily on the list right now of things, but I do know we have a community question based around it. So there's a rumored Nintendo Direct. We talked about that a little bit last week. Since then, some further rumors have corroborated that it's meant to be a third-party focused Nintendo Direct.
That's interesting. When I read
my beard was stroked in anticipation. I believe one of our community members, one of our patrons, has a community question about the Nintendo
Hytham
Direct.
G.
You might want to truncate this somewhat, Hytham. We still need to talk about paragraphs and punctuation.
Still need to talk about
Love ya. Just difficult to read.
Hytham G. Although we had the Direct mainly Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but my prediction for the general Direct when it does start, either 28th or 29th, is Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4.
You can dream.
There aren't many people looking more forward to Metroid Prime 4 than me, but that ain't happening at this Direct. Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime Trilogy, the rumoured remake remaster Nintendo game with the help of Bandai developing it, the rumoured new Fire Emblem game, maybe GoldenEye, maybe an ARMS sequel, maybe Mario plus Rabbids 2. Oh, Mario plus Rabbids 2. God, that's going to be good. Maybe some gameplay, Tibet. I assume that's supposed to be like
of Pokemon.
Tidbit of Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, Splatoon 3, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, the reveal of Xenoblade Chronicles X, Super Mario Odyssey 2,
This is basically Galaxy 2. Babies.
My God, if it's going to be mostly third party, you're just listing a bunch of first party stuff. Maybe Genshin Impact, Wave 2 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Zelda Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 as a Klonoa treatment, so remaster, I guess. And GameCube, and I assume that's GameCube in NSO, with all Game Boy variations coming to NSO, along with all Xbox variations and Atari to NSO.
This is some pipe dream stuff here, Hytham.
What is happening?
Yeah, he's smoking something.
The missing Fighter Pass 2 characters as amiibos that haven't been revealed as of yet. And based from my prediction, what is your guys' pick that is the likeliest and unlikeliest that could be revealed at the Direct or not? P.S. Aside Phil's shelf that came true, like the skull from Watch Dogs, the Luden statue, and I hope the Switch is true. Sarah Bond, the employee who's in charge of Xbox ecosystem, has a Switch on his shelf in a GameStack event. I hope it comes true what it means.
What do we predict is going to be at the Nintendo Direct?
It's going to be a 14-hour-long Nintendo Direct where they show every game ever made coming to Switch.
Well, look, there's pretty much only 2 places left. So the anniversary for Goldeneye is August. So there's really only 2 opportunities now to announce, reveal, and shadow drop Goldeneye, and that's at this Nintendo Direct and at Gamescom. So Nintendo's not going to be at Gamescom, neither is Sony. Microsoft haven't said whether they're going to be at Gamescom. I assume they will. But that's the only 2 chances left. If Goldeneye is not announced at either of those 2, then I have no idea what's happening, because this game exists. Like everyone knows, it's an open secret. This isn't some sort of insider information. This game exists. And
the anniversary is the exact same date as ONL too. Jeff's Gamescom event. It's August 25th. August 25th, the game came out.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like that's where it's going to be shown off. Surely that makes sense.
But there is also that documentary coming out in like 2 days, right?
The documentary's in a couple of days. Yes, I'm looking forward to that documentary where everyone needs to watch that documentary to get a reminder of how amazing Goldeneye is and how revolutionary.
How amazing it was.
No, it is. Goldeneye with modern controls will still be amazing.
I think it would be a fun, nostalgic romp for the 3 hours it would take to finish it, and then I would probably never touch it again.
Is gonna butt its way into my regular playlist rotation of Fortnite, Rocket League, and up there with like Halo. It'll be Goldeneye.
I don't get it.
Goldeneye levels on all the different difficulties.
A Perfect Dark remaster exists, and it's a better game than Goldeneye.
Does it have big head mode though?
It's not the same.
It does? Okay, I should play that.
Goldeneye just has that something special.
No, it's just a Bond license with less guns.
It has the music. That's what it has.
Yeah, the music's pretty good. The main menu slaps. Like,
yes.
I'm serious.
Yes, it does.
I love that TikTok. I
Have you
love
seen
that
the
TikTok.
I
That
saw it too.
TikTok is the best. Where
Can
he's
we
like,
find that TikTok and risk getting this section?
it's
of
so
podcast where he
good.
plays
That
Jesse?
TikTok is
Oh,
amazing.
man.
I absolutely love it.
He doesn't want to find it. He doesn't.
I don't think
But
I
yeah.
ever got past the winter or the tank level. I think is that the first level? I feel like that might be the first level of the game.
I don't know.
You're in Russia.
Time
You're taking out the
Splitters paid
tanks.
homage to it. Time Splitters 2 paid homage to GoldenEye, because that's a lot of the team that made GoldenEye.
That's cool.
But this Nintendo Direct, if it's third-party focused, then Hytham, mate, 90% of that stuff ain't going to be there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what would be at a third-party Direct. I assume a lot of JRPGs. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Square is there with like the Pixel Collection and I don't know. Final
Plus,
Fantasy.
if this is like last year, they're probably going to have a first party one the week after.
Cat.
Because they
Maybe,
did
I
third
don't
party, then first party, like back to back last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't
there'd
be
already be
surprised
lots
if
of
Square's
indie
there.
stuff. Some indie stuff as well.
This should be the Direct that reveals the new Fire Emblem. From what all the rumors are pointing towards, people are saying it's
Fire
really
Emblem
close to
is
complete.
first party, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No,
Is
I don't
it?
think
Isn't
so.
it?
They publish it, but I don't think it's. They don't own the studio that makes the game.
But it wouldn't count as a third.
Oh, if they're publishing it, maybe not.
Actually,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Do they
count as a
publish it?
third party. If again, this is all rumors.
Fair
Of
enough.
course, we don't even know there's a direct. Like Nintendo
Yeah.
usually announces
Yeah.
the direct 2 days earlier, and we're already it's the 26th in Australia.
Dumbest
So if we're going to
thing.
hear about this direct, it needs to be soon. That's even if it's true. It's all rumors at the moment, but
Yeah, that's the weird part. His question or their question was mentions as third party, then mentions a bunch of first party games.
all this first party stuff.
He's just
that's why it
dreaming.
was a bit
Some
weird.
dreams
But
in that.
out of
in
your
that
list, though, the
question.
one that's not gonna show up ever, because I'm still not convinced it exists, is anything to do with Metroid Prime. The trilogy remaster, Metroid Prime 4. I am not convinced this game exists. I'll be honest.
Not
Which
yet.
game? Which game?
Metroid Prime 4.
It doesn't exist. What are you talking
No,
about?
no, I'm joking. I mean, I'm sure it does exist, but does it exist? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been announced. It's
think
like Phantom
I think
Dust
it got
reboot.
completely rebooted. I think it was just completely. That's my
We
assumption.
we know it got rebooted and got moved to retro like years ago, but it's been years since they said that too. So
Yeah, but it's got a lot to live up to. Metroid Prime 4 has to be.
Yeah.
It. I would argue, even though we in the Xbox sphere won't feel it or know it, it would probably have as much pressure on it as the Halo Infinite did.
No.
Because
I wouldn't say as much, but a lot.
Yeah.
Like Metroid Prime is one of the greatest games ever made.
I mean,
Ever made. Same way Halo CE is one of the best games ever made. But then the Metroid Primes that came after, probably not as good. Very similar path to Halo, really.
I'd say more comparable to Playground and Fable in terms of a legacy that they have to live towards, and they're releasing a game after a big gap between titles.
That's underselling how incredible Metroid Prime was. Like,
yeah, but it never sold big. It was never. Metroid's never actually been a big series. Like Metroid Prime trilogy as a trilogy.
That doesn't change how good the original
barely
game
capped
was.
7 million,
But
which
Prime was
like
amazing.
The worst for Halo.
Why are we using Sony arguments of sales being?
Oh,
anything?
no.
That's a Sony PlayStation argument. Oh well, this game sold the most. That makes it.
Well, you're talking about pressure.
Yeah,
it's not expected to do that great.
The Metroid games are generally, like the ones made by Nintendo, of course, are generally amazing.
Also, they influence titles across the board, right? I mean, we call the genre Metroidvania for a reason.
That's right. It's spawned a genre.
No, I couldn't play Dread though. The chase scenes, I couldn't.
Dread
I tried like 3 times. I just hated the chase scenes, and I love Metroidvania.
Dread.
Did you hate the chase scenes in Ori?
No. See, the Ori chase scenes were epic. You die, you're immediately back. It's an event. In Dread, it's more like Resident Evil 2, where it's like
it's a
you enter
stalker.
an area.
It's a stalker.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
luckily, the only good, I say good thing, but it's not a good thing. And I normally hate stalker mechanics too. But at least in Dread, the stalker, you know where the stalker is at all times, and you know that if you're going to enter this room, the stalker will probably be in there. So it's not like
that makes
in
sense.
Resident Evil 2, it's like more annoying. It's random, and you suddenly hear the footsteps. And I've gone back to Resident Evil 2 as well because of the Series X update. Barely looks any different. It's good that a 120 option exists, but it barely looks any different. But my save file now, I paid for the unlock the unlimited rocket launcher and the unlimited ammo for a couple of guns. So now, anytime Mr. X comes, I just pull out the rocket launcher and just take him out and just keep on going with my life, which makes it way more enjoyable, by the way. But yeah, tangent.
Yeah, well, no, tangents are good. There's not a lot
gaming
to talk about
tangent
this week. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Halo, and I guess that's one of the subjects of conversation this week.
That's a weak segue, I gotta say.
It's the best I could do under the circumstances. 343 dropped a newsletter out this week, and in aforementioned newsletter, they talked about that. Hey, we've released 4 years worth of content for MCC since we fixed it all up, and we've added all this extra stuff. And we realized that if someone's come in and has all of that path to unlock, we're considering introducing some sort of currency so they can pay to just get all the cosmetics. And the community acted completely rationally, and no one freaked out. The end. What's the next news subject? Oh, wait, that's not what happened.
I did see a lot of extrapolation from that. Because all they said was that they were thinking. They were
looking at it.
Maybe having the monetization.
One might think that they were perhaps putting that in there to get a feel for what people thought about such things. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at this, and I'm gonna both sides this for a second here. One, they were like, it might be kind of nice, and plus, we're a business. Maybe if we do that, then people that want to grind, they can grind. If people don't want to, they can just do it in a similar way to how Battlefield, after a little while it's been out, you can pay to unlock all the unlocks. Right? No one.
Assassin's Creed does it.
Lots of things do it.
Even does it.
But right, so I've got no problem with it when I look at it in that vein. I get it. But here's the problem, and this is why it's got the reaction: is 343 as an entity need to perhaps just read the room.
For sure.
That's all I can say. Like, I'm not gonna admonish them. I'm not gonna say that they shouldn't do it. I don't care. I won't buy it. But someone might, and fine. If they do, it's their money, their choice. They know what they're getting. It's a product. The end.
Yes. Read the room is right.
Reading the room is probably the biggest thing that they probably should have done. We're in hot water at the moment. Not a lot of people are happy about the state of Infinite. I wonder if we should talk about how we're going to try and make money out of this other product.
Yeah.
Bad call.
That we took 7 years to get right.
Yeah.
A few months to fix. It was fixed.
What?
5,
It
6
was a
months ago.
couple of years.
I mean,
Master
really
Chief
fit.
Collection.
Yeah.
A couple of months.
Not a couple of months. You know when they gave ODST for free? If you like, you bought it
Couple of
before.
months
I want to
is
say
generous.
January or something.
Yeah.
By like
Master
February,
Chief
March,
Collection.
you could play it. Is all I'll say about it.
Master Chief Collection, to get it to where it needed to be the day it came out, before launching broken games was a normal thing like it is now. So in 2014, we were still very new to games launching broken. Like Master
Unless you're on
Chief Collection
PC.
was one of the pioneers of that practice. Master Chief Collection, to get to the point where it should have been at launch, took many, many years.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of all the games getting in there, all the fixes, all the achievement stuff,
UI
all
not
the
running
co-op,
like
all the-
molasses.
It took a long. It's amazing. It is unbelievable now what it is. Don't get me wrong. Like Halo Master Chief Collection in 2022, had that released in 2014, would have been a console
as
seller.
it should have been. Yeah, it was
Would have been a
incredible.
console seller, and
Yep.
we'd be looking at a different generation in Gen 8 now. It would
Yeah.
have been a complete. Like
But
that's how amazing Master
Saying
Chief
years
Collection
is a little misleading because it launched completely broken. They fixed the matchmaking so it's playable within like 5 seconds, and they dropped support completely. And then they came back to it when they were releasing it on PC and the series. I mean, the 1X came out, they gave 1X support. The PC thing came, Reach came, and that's when they started their yearly support. So it's not like between 2014 and 2019 they were working on the game.
I
Or at
can
least-
agree with you in some context. Yes, they got it to a point where it was mostly all
Mostly
right.
playable.
There was still a huge number of bugs. Customs didn't work properly. Games would fail if you searched with a party of a certain size.
Yep.
I don't. From my personal viewpoint, I wouldn't have considered that fully fixed. They've absolutely turned that product around
agree.
now. But yeah, I get what
it's
you
an
mean.
amazing product now.
there's a
That's why I
distinct-
use the term playable, because before that, every week I'd try, or first I tried daily, and then after it didn't work for like months, I tried every week and just nope. So for me, jumping from that not even working at all to hey, I can find matches, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is playable.
Matt,
Well,
I
if
booked.
we're
I had a
going
whole
by that
weekend land.
bare
for
bones
that.
standard, then yeah, okay. But
Yeah. I had a whole
What-
weekend land booked for that, and that
Yeah.
was the most depressing.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
we're just
I
playing the
took a
campaigns.
week off. I took a week off
Oh
for it.
god,
A week.
bad.
No, admit I did play all the campaigns in like a week, so that at least I had fun with. But still a
But
few
the product
crashes.
it is now, every time I boot it up, I'm just like, this is so amazing. Like, look
Would
how
you say-
polished this is and how beautiful it looks.
Would you say it's
and how
a
organised
10
it
out of
is.
10 collection, Nick?
As a package, Jesse's review's still wrong, but as a package, right? As a package, and you know, like, how do I describe this?
As a collection, as
a
menu?
product, I should say, as a product. I could argue, yes, it is a 10 out of 10 product. It's,
But the individual
it's beautiful,
games-
it's polished, it's stable, it's everything is just magnificent in the Master Chief Collection. So as a product, it is a 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
But the games are not 10 out of 10 games, except maybe Halo CE.
Thank God I reviewed the product.
All right, if
CE.
you said ODST, I would have thought.
Don't buy it. Jason.
ODST is a 9.5. ODST is a 9.5. Halo CE is a 10, but ODST is a 9.5.
What's the
Halo
issue with the
2 is
0.5 ODST that you can finish it in an hour and a half?
An hour and a half? No way.
Yeah.
You can finish that game in like, I ended up getting the achievement for beating it in 3 hours without even realizing. And we're like, oh, this was an
ODST
achievement.
is so amazing.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
good
that's why I
game.
love it, because it's short.
It's good atmosphere. But yeah, the long and short of it is, with Halo Infinite, you know, under a lot of scrutiny and experiencing a lot of criticism, rightly or
It's not a
wrongly,
good look.
with the
Yeah.
whole Bonobo fiasco of their Juneteenth
God.
emblem, which I mean, what can you say about that, right? And I'm not gonna really defend. I can't defend it, right? That's a real whoever did that. But the problem is at the moment is now I'm seeing the Halo community, speaking very generally.
Screw them.
Jesus Christ, there are some toxic people out there, and it's
Yeah.
you know,
As
and I'm
toxic
not
as it
saying that
gets.
they shouldn't be annoyed about X, Y, and Z, but holy crap, it's a video game. Go play something else. It isn't life itself. you
That's
know?
why I don't agree with you entirely regarding the read the room part. Because honestly, like in my experience with interacting with the community, with Reddit, with Era, with Twitter, there was never going to be a time where they could do this and people wouldn't lose their crap. Like honestly, never. Even in Infinite was an amazing place.
that.
I mean,
I don't
okay,
know about
MCC has had 4 years of free updates, solid updates. They built up a lot of goodwill with MCC. And now they say something like, hey, we're thinking of adding a way to purchase previous battle passes. And everyone goes back to, oh, they deserve us. We deserve the game because they launched it broken. What are they doing? They lost all the goodwill. It's just...
Well, again, read the room. If you'd have announced that little tidbit with, great news, guys. We're releasing Forge for Halo Infinite today. We're releasing this content update for this. There's 6 new maps here. Oh, and by the way, we just wanted to poll the community. Here's a poll. We're thinking about doing this. So they sweeten the pot with all the good stuff and then ask the single bad thing they know will probably get a vitriolic reaction from...
But the single bad thing would still get the vitriolic reaction. I mean, look at this update. This thing has more updates. It has stuff for MCC. It has the armors, the mod upgrades. But the only thing people are focusing on is just the thing. The one thing they could have said, and they should have, but I'm not sure if they are planning on doing this, is they should have said something like, we want to make more content for the game. And something like this would... Exactly. Something like this would allow us to do it. They should have said that, assuming that's what they want to do. That's one thing I agree with for sure.
Yeah, I get it. It's a rock and a hard place, right? I think the community. You are right in that the community would cry foul no matter what. You know,
I don't have enough faith in the community to think they could ever take this news and not go take it to the nth level. I just, after years of seeing them, like when I consider a community worse than like Destiny's community or League of Legends community, then you know it's a bad community, is what I'll say.
The thing is, there are so many incredible content creators and great people in that community. That's what blows my mind. But then, how do I say this without offending so many people? Here's what I'll say. Apologies in advance, folks. When you have a content creator community who work in an algorithm that depends upon negativity and vitriol, I suppose you're pretty good if you're in the Halo community, right? That's what's this weird catch-22. Hey, content creators, come play, come help us judge. And then that content creator is like, these guys suck, but I'll happily help play the next thing. I'm just saying my opinion, man. You know,
did you know that YouTube or Paramount took down negative reviews of the TV show?
No.
Oh, no way.
Really?
No, not really. That was very heavy sarcasm. There was a big yes, there's a big controversy because he's like, Paramount took down my videos. Took it down because you used more than like a few minutes of the clip. We learned that firsthand, as Jesse knows, because we played a little too much and we had to fight to get that episode
Not even that. I would play like 5 or 6 minutes and you're allowed about 10. Yeah. And just their default behavior when they capture that you used any of their stuff is to immediately block the video. They don't demonetize it. As Paramount as a company.
You three are the Halo people. And John is even a quasi 343 employee, so to speak. How big is the team working on Master Chief Collection?
Last I heard was 12 people. I remember hearing that number.
Yeah, it's not a huge team. I've met some of them. Some of them are from the community in the same way that I am.
Okay, so it's not like it's a sizable team working on Master Chief Collection now.
And what's interesting is Season 8 that they released, I think, December last year or something like that, was supposed to be their final content season for the game. Yeah. And they've still been adding some things. So that's why, like, I know you could take this as in, like, oh, they just want to make money now that the game's complete. Or you can take it like, hey, they want to fund new content. And I'm going to be on the more positive side and say, hey, that's what I think they're doing.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I mean, you know, there's not much more to say on it than that. Yeah. It's all a big mess. But, yeah, you know, whether you could make the argument there's no good time to have that conversation. But certainly 343's reputation of their releases and the content that's always been missing from a fan's perspective doesn't put them in a good position to start talking about ways to make money when from a fan's perspective there's stuff that's still straight out missing. And then you get the argument that this game doesn't launch with multiplayer and they don't get knocked for it. And it's like, because unfortunately they've set a bar for themselves, right? Or Bungie did before them. But we're talking about different generations, different styles of content. Video games are harder to make, higher resolutions, more complicated systems, yada, yada, yada. But more importantly, there's 190 people watching right now, which is lovely to hang out with you all, but only 49 likes, and the math just doesn't add up, right?
I wonder if Rand hit like.
He probably didn't. He hit the dislike.
He hit the dislike button.
He probably didn't.
When you said he was going to demod him, he was like dislike. But yeah, look, if you
I do agree with you that if they probably waited a month or two, it wouldn't have let. A part of me thinks that maybe 343 legitimately thought, and if they did, they were kind of dumb, that the goodwill they built up with the free updates would let people actually read the blog post before jumping down their throats.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
But yeah, that's a naive thought.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I'm just looking if there's any community questions specifically on.
I looked for Halo questions. There was a Fortnite one, and I wish I had brought it up when I was talking about Fortnite.
Oh, well. Okay.
We kind of talked about it.
Yeah. What's the other piece of news? Redfall. Let's talk about Redfall, because the more I see of this game, the more I'm really
I'm getting super pumped for this game now. I am getting.
You guys get the ads
excited now
on YouTube and things? I clicked a podcast link earlier today, and boom, Redfall ad, because I was on a work computer, so no YouTube Premium. I'm like, oh, this is cool. They're already starting full-blown ads.
They did that with Starfield when they did the teaser trailer.
Starfield ads are going on too. I had one of those.
Yeah. I mean, understandable. These are two big games for Microsoft next year.
Yeah.
But Redfall, they announced, and they've been really keen to underline this, because when Arcane said, hey, yeah, we're making this multiplayer shooter thingy with vampires, everyone just thought it was going to be a rip-off Left 4 Dead, knockoff, whatever. But they've been very, very clear. It is an Arcane game. You can play it through it solo, but good news, you can bring 3 friends along for the ride. So I'm going to do the co-op route personally, and I'll probably play it 4 times so that we all get different progress and achievements and all of that stuff. But definitely looking forward to playing this one. Like, the more I see, the more I'm like, this is going to be a good laugh.
By the way, speaking of that, I went back and watched a lot of those trailers in 4K from that showcase, including Redfall. Yeah, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
When you watch them in 4K, it really does. Makes a big difference to how a lot of those games look.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting. It's an Unreal 5 game. And yeah, I remember watching the Digital Foundry verdict, and they were like, doesn't look like an Unreal 5 game. I thought that the lighting and the kind of graphical effects when all the beasties disappear and stuff, really cool. So I guess we'll see. It's got some more time in the oven, certainly another 6 to 9 months, or if not a little bit
far, watching that trailer back last night in 4K, the only thing visually I would argue, and they've still got time, but I don't know how much this could change between now and then, is maybe the animations could use just a bit of work.
Yeah, animations and some of the textures are very simplistic in some cases. But then they have built an open world, so I'm like,
that's being nitpicky. I still think it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah, and like the particle effects.
I'm just saying, like, if I was gonna pick on it, I think the lighting is amazing. Like the torches, when they shine the torch and you see the vampire, like that just looks great. And when they disintegrate blade style and all that sort of stuff, looks fantastic. But yeah, maybe the animations could use a tighten up on level 3. But
it's a trailer that when at first watch, you watch a trailer and immediately it doesn't stick out to you like, oh, this is graphically impressive. But then you keep rewatching it, you'll focus on the lighting, the particle effects, and you're like, oh no, they're actually doing some cool things here.
And I'm wrapped at single player. Although I do have actually, like, it's been a long time since I've regularly co-opted a game. But this one I might go out of my way to find 2 or 3 friends to.
We need to work.
Play with.
We need to work our PR, John, to get a bunch of review codes so we can play together.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And
for my review.
Absolutely.
No,
and complain about the co-op system at the same time.
I might review Redfall.
Oh, look at him just swooping in. Oh, we'll figure it out, lads. There's plenty of time.
You know what the particle effects reminded me of? A little bit of Killer Instinct. A bit.
Yeah.
Just, like all over the place.
Yeah. You know what you could do from a review perspective for that one is if people want to know about the different play styles, everyone stick to their play style and talk about how that affected their gameplay approach as they were playing through. There's plenty of options. There's so much stuff that we're going to be doing over the next 12 months. It's kind of scary.
It's ridiculous.
You know which trailer really shone in 4K? Forza Motorsport. Oh my god.
Yes.
I watched that trailer in 4K.
Wait, the real one or the misleading fake one?
What is this
it's
real
all fake,
footage
though.
I'm looking at?
No, all fake, I was told.
Oh my god.
I saw some of that discussion that, because they put... man. So let's talk about Forza a little bit, because I know this was some other controversy, because
Nick's talking about motorsport, I believe.
Well, motorsport and technically Forza Horizon 5, but both of them, we had the fantastic technical demo for Forza Motorsport, which really was a bit of a wower. They mistakenly referred to that the footage was recorded on Xbox Series X. They did correct it after the fact and said, oh no, sorry, we actually recorded that on PC. Fine, but that's what it was going to look like on Series X. It will emulate the same settings.
They didn't say that on the show though, did they? That was on
I can't remember if it came up saying.
I feel like that might have been on a stream after.
It was on the Xbox Wire post, I think.
There's very little reason to believe it won't look like that on Series X.
Seriously.
Yeah. And I don't disbelieve Turn 10, and that's the weird thing. This is a studio that has a history of being technical fucking wizards, right, across the board, and have never failed to have a locked max res 60 FPS.
Yeah,
and now they've got a real beast of a console to work with, as well as the Series S and on PC.
Look at Forza Horizon 5.
It looks incredible.
It's the same engine. They worked on the engine together, and they bounce off each other. So if Forza Horizon 5 can pull off what it's pulling off at 4K 60 on Series X in an open world, what do you think a closed track race is going to be doing? Like, it's going to look the way you saw it.
But
it's like it's going to be.
The issue was that in the trailer before this one, the trailer with the buzzreel and the "Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself" song, which is great. Yeah. That was through replay footage, I believe.
Yes, and that's where it had. So there's two differences. The gameplay demo, where they demoed all the different features that were bringing to the game, talked about ray tracing being on track, and it used mirror ray tracing, which is the cheapest form of ray tracing, where it's a straight up mirror reflection on all surfaces, and that's that.
Which is the most worthless ray tracing, in my opinion.
It brings some immersion, but
also cars are shiny.
You're going at 70, 90, 200 miles an hour. Who cares? Right. It's all that immersion.
Also, no, if it works in cockpit view, it'd actually be pretty cool, because you actually use the mirrors. If you play cockpit view, which everyone playing this game should be playing cockpit view, by the way. That's just like a fact. If you're playing Forza Motorsport, you should be playing cockpit view. I mean,
if you're playing it with sim in mind. But they released afterwards a 1 minute sizzle reel. And they used ray tracing on that, but because it's replay mode, it uses the full global illumination system, and it uses diffused reflection. So depending upon the material that's reflecting the ray tracing, you'll get more realistic reflections.
But why is it a big deal if they use replay?
Apparently, it's misleading. Now,
but that's how Sony has shown. That's how Sony and Sony fanboys have shown Gran Turismo and every other Sony game's visuals for like the last 25 years.
And
with
no one really said
anything.
anything.
And photo modes and all that crap.
They had like a 35-minute presentation, and I think out of that, there was maybe like 6 minutes of actual non-replay mode gameplay. I'm talking about GT7.
Yeah. And then they made another snafu with the Forza Horizon 5 DLC for Hot Wheels, where they presented up on the screen all in-game 4K footage, and ray tracing was very evidently switched on to make it look its best, and that's not coming to the game.
Why did they use the words "on track"? Why did they say that? Why did they just say during gameplay?
Motorsport?
Motorsport.
I think they were deliberately trying to call out this isn't just replay; it's on track. When you're on the track. I think that's perfectly normal language to use.
Yeah,
but apparently people still want to pick.
Wait, were you saying they should have said in game, like in race?
Yes, they should have just said during gameplay. That's all they have to say during gameplay.
I think they like using fancy racing words. It's racing fanatics or car fanatics.
Car sim. On track is what matters for people who care about car sims, which is what that game is. So it's very normal for that genre.
In the context of what they're talking about with ray tracing, they should not have used on track. Because
on track is what they call. It's what you call gameplay in sim racing.
Also, they could have wanted the ambiguous discussion. Like, wait, did he say on track? What's that? Does that mean in game? And then they're like, yeah, we meant in game. You know,
just say during gameplay. It's still a video game. Just say during gameplay.
But
that's all
regarding the Forza, the Hot Wheels one, I didn't really like. Apparently, there is ray tracing on it, but it's like really like maybe 1 or 2 scenes in the trailer. My problem with that discussion is, man, I have Forza Horizon 5. I'm playing it. It looks great. What I saw of Hot Wheels looks like what I'd expect the game to look even right now.
Yeah, they're basically, if they hadn't have labeled it all in-game 4K footage, it wouldn't have been a discussion. It was just a marketing trailer. The fact that people are making a big deal out of it, and I don't know if Jesse's showing that Hot Wheels trailer on screen because I love that trailer.
I love it.
But yeah, we're talking about some mirror reflections in the cars. The game still looks absolutely.
Apparently, it was just that first initial when the cars roll up next to each other and you see a reflection in the car within a car. That's what people were like, oh, isn't that ray traced reflections?
Yeah, I know, but again, it just doesn't, to me, again, this is just me here. Ray trace reflections just very rarely adds anything to a game. Like, so for example, Gran Turismo doesn't have the ray trace reflections during gameplay, but when I watch when I watch the car go, you can still see some obviously faked or screen space reflections. Still looks great. Looks great.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that game doesn't look overly great, but those reflections still look fine for a car going at 200 k's an hour, where you're not really looking at the reflections. You're looking at what the hell's going on around you. I don't know.
But you're right. In general, when it comes to ray tracing, the big game changer, the big next gen difference is global illumination.
It's lighting. It's not, and we don't have that. We're not going to get that this generation. We're only going to get ray trace lighting in things like Metro, where a last gen game gets an update to add ray trace lighting, because these consoles are powerful enough to add it to old games, but they're not powerful enough to handle it in new games. So, yeah, while I was one of those people that predicted many years before this generation started that I thought ray tracing was going to be a thing this generation, I kind of wish it wasn't, because these consoles aren't ready for real ray tracing. Like, the reflections just don't add much. Like, there was big talk about Ratchet and Clank. Oh, Ratchet and Clank's got ray tracing. And I turned on the ray tracing in Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, this adds nothing. This adds literally nothing. Like, I went up to this little bolt, and I could see myself in a bolt, and I'm like, oh, cool, man. Well, that adds so much to this game.
It helps sell on screen.
Yes.
It's for marketing. The places where ray tracing and global illumination are going to be best is in, like you say, lighting, but in certain genres as well, like horror games, and things of that. From an atmospheric point of view, that's where that kind of stuff can really come into play. But I've not seen anything yet, and I still think it's a little too early to call, to say that these consoles aren't powerful enough. We've seen Microsoft touting that they've just brought in AMD's
FSR2.
FSR2.
Yeah.
FSR
2.0.
So that's going to result in a lot more optimization, hopefully free up some more power. I'm very curious to see what in a couple of years someone's going to make the next big wow moment.
It's going to be Coalition. It's going to be
probably.
I do agree though. In horror games, reflections, yes, for sure. You walk past the mirror and there's something in the mirror, but then you look back and it's not there, or something like. In a horror game, yes, it could totally work.
I remember in Condemned on the 360, big fan.
That was a good game.
Only horror game I ever played through because I liked the detective investigation aspect.
That was a good game. Condemned.
There was the mannequin store.
Oh, I look back and then the mannequin's gone and you're like,
worst, man. This was the worst. I literally dropped the pad like a sissy girl.
It was so good.
So that's where they took it from. Okay.
I walked through the mannequin store and I go into this dingy bathroom and there's a mirror cabinet, right? And I can see my character in the mirror. They're doing just a straight up, there's just another version
copy or whatever.
And I open the cabinet and I get some pain pills or whatever the health stuff was. As I close it, one of the weird junkie people was just there in underpants in the reflection. I was like, oh, fuck. I just lost it. It was horrible.
That is such a good game, Condemned.
It is.
It's really good.
There's a reason I don't play horror games. That's
quick super chat. And Nick, I want your best impression, please. Best effort.
How do I do this? Could Forza Motorsport be any prettier?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Chandler Bing.
That's kind of trippy.
Chandler Bong. I loved it.
Chandler Bong. Man, I was watching so much Friends last night. It was on free-to-air TV. The Thanksgiving episodes are the best episodes. Like, last night's was the one where they're singing Sir Mix-a-Lot to Emma to make her laugh.
Yeah.
And, was that the same episode? The one with Amy, with Christina Applegate.
Yeah,
Amy comes for Thanksgiving. That's and the plates, Crazy Plate Lady. Oh, man. That's such a good episode.
A lot of plates.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Put the plates away. Put the plates away.
No, it's
so
still got to be
good.
the Brad Pitt Thanksgiving episode. It's probably
Oh yes, that's the
absolute
best one.
answer.
But that episode with Christine Applegate is very, very underrated. That's a really good episode.
What is Chandler Bing's middle name?
Starts with M. Muriel.
Yeah, no one can go.
No one
past
even
you.
asked that. You just brought that trivia up.
I just did. I just have to keep him on his toes every now and then. You know, we've got to prepare
Getting ready
ourselves
for
for the annual Friends-a-thon.
I'm not gonna lie, as someone who does not watch Friends, other than like a few episodes randomly, I actually really enjoyed that part of the episode when you guys had it.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was a good laugh. What else in the news this week of video games? I don't actually know this. I missed this one, so someone will have to fill me in. New storage optimization options.
Yes.
Talk to me, Nick.
Yeah.
So the Xbox released an update. I think it's to insiders at the moment, where when you plug in storage, is it only the SSD cards, Jesse, or is it any storage?
Yeah, it's asking about storage expansion card specifically.
Yeah, so when you plug in an expansion card, it comes up with this option that says, do you want to optimize this for this console, or is it going to be used on multiple consoles?
Oh, so if you chop and change and pull your card out like I do between my Series S and my Series X, I pick one option versus if it's just going to live in this console, pick this option.
But don't you already do that anyway?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point. Is they're actually saying if you're only buying this card to expand the storage for this console, and that's the only device you got, we'll optimize the card to stay and live in this device as if it's just an extension of the memory. Whereas if you're going to hot swap between two different, they'll optimize it in a different way.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
Eden Marie, who works for Xbox, she's in Discord too.
Yep,
talks about Kit Kats a lot.
Good chocolate.
Xbox Insiders, I saw some questions about this earlier. This is a redesign of the dialogue you see when you first attach an external drive in preparation for future features. We've also added a way to change the setting afterwards. Wording and help article are still in flux. Right now, this still just controls whether games and apps can be auto-updated. Yes, for this console, no for multiple consoles. The Learn More link will describe this in detail, but it isn't ready yet. Thanks to Tom Warren for raising that this is confusing the way it is.
Future features.
So,
right? That's
is
the
Jesse showing it on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was very curious when I saw that.
What kind of future features? Maybe something like more games and quick play? Or not quick play, quick resume?
I don't know, future features or future hardware? Maybe.
Huh.
Yeah. I feel like it's due time for more expansion cards too, right? Other than just WD.
Yeah,
Seagate.
well,
It's curious.
There is. Yeah, they're not limiting it to just Seagate, but that it would be interesting if they ever made something else that you could take that same storage card and those same games would just work. Wouldn't that be unique?
That would count as other consoles, wouldn't it?
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Like if they released another piece of hardware that isn't just a box, and you could take that same SD card that sits in the back of your Series S or X and put it into something smaller, wouldn't that be cool?
It would.
From a technological perspective. So you download your games when you've got them on your Series X on the memory card in the back, and you can take that same memory card and put it into, let's just say,
something
a handheld.
else.
Let's just call it a handheld of some description.
Okay.
If you could do that, wouldn't that be cool?
It would.
It's not happening.
Super cool.
Anyone listening, the Xbox handheld is not happening. Don't.
Okay.
It would be cool is if you put it in like a cloud box. No, that wouldn't make any sense.
It'd have to. You could only go in another
That'd
Xbox.
be some interesting tech to have the cloud
I'm just like,
acknowledge.
what?
I feel
Wow,
like the
that
latency would be too much.
I mean, Microsoft are good, but I don't know if they're that good. Like Jesus,
Oh man.
how the hell would that work?
Do you guys have the expansion? Oh yeah, John.
I have one. Yeah.
I want to get one, but there's so like I thought. You know what? I always said that I'll wait for a 2 terabyte one to come along.
Yep.
And then the 2 terabyte one came along, and I'm like, awesome. Let's see how much this costs. I'm sure the price is totally reasonable. 750 Australian dollars. It
Holy
costs the
crap.
same as the console.
That's
What
insane.
do
Yeah,
you
I-
mean?
The only reason I bought one is I was always planning on launch day to get a Series S for the spare room and a Series X for me. And I ended up doing the review unit for the Series S, so I got to keep that. So Microsoft effectively freed up that money to spend it on the memory card. And I know that I downloaded
if Tom
a lot
Henderson's
of games.
watching,
I sure could use a memory card.
hey Tom, now UK dollars like double in Australia. So if you could see your way to a super chat that buys me a 2 terabyte Xbox expansion card, that would be fantastic.
Hey,
if you're watching, Tom.
Seeing as you brought up Australian dollar bucks, and seeing as this episode is sure as hell pretty loose this evening as it is.
New Bluey episodes?
Oh man.
Man, I watched 2 of them last night. They were so
I
good.
did not expect that tangent.
I need to talk
They
about
were
how
so
I feel.
good.
I need to call out 2 specific episodes and talk about how I feel. The first episode that I need to talk about, and parents watching the podcast or anyone that's into video games and has no idea what we're talking about, suck it up, right? Bluey is real. It's real good.
The new episodes were good.
I need to talk about Smoochy Kiss.
Oh, I haven't watched that one. I saw the label of it, Smoochy Kiss. I'm like, I want to watch this one.
I won't spoil it. Smoochy Kiss is definitely one to watch, and the other one to watch is Onesies, which
you watched the 2 I haven't watched. I watched the one. I watched the Decider. Have you seen the Decider?
I'm watching them chronologically, so I'm very curious how you haven't watched this.
I don't know. I watched one last night called the Decider, where they're watching the rugby.
Okay,
and
not seen that.
Their neighbour has come over. The wife goes for New South Wales. The husband goes for Queensland. All of Bluey's family is Queensland, so they're all over at Bluey's house. The wife is left alone across the road with New South Wales, and the daughter of the neighbour is torn between being with her mum and her dad. It's so good.
Mate, this is what
and then I
blows
watched
my
another
mind.
one. I don't know the name of it, but their neighbour apparently is a certain breed of dog where they have long, beautiful hair and they're like show dogs. But Bluey and Bingo are playing in the dirt. The neighbour wants to play in the dirt with them, but her mum won't really let her because she'll get dirty. And like you just see Bluey and Bingo just mucking around in the dirt. It's so good. It's such a good episode.
Mine are a little bit more serious. Like Smoochy Kiss is and for the adults watching, like they're just trying to stop mum from giving dad a Smoochy Kiss, right? And they're like, no, he's ours. And it's actually an allegory for why do you put up with dad when he's got smelly armpits or he leaves all the cupboard doors open? It's like you take the good, the bad. So it's like talking to parents that are in marriages and stuff like that. And then the other one was Onesies. Now this is a trigger warning because in 7 minutes, Bluey, a kid's cartoon, deals with the subject of infertility in adults in a more sensitive and unique way than I've seen in any other medium. And this is a kid's cartoon. And basically, if you're a Bluey fan,
it's a kid's cartoon, but like Looney Tunes. Like Looney Tunes, a lot of adult undertones in there that kids won't get until they're... So our kids watching Bluey now won't get the adult stuff until they're adults. Same way I get all the adult stuff in Looney Tunes now.
Well, this is what blew my mind. I watched this with my son and my daughter. And in it, Chili's sister, who is referenced in like season 1, turns up. Her name's Brandy, hasn't seen the kids for 4 years, buys them onesies, a zebra and a cheetah. Yeah. And onesies have a peculiar effect on Bingo, and Bingo becomes a cheater. And you know what happens in Bluey? They all start playing along, and they're like being eaten. But the mum and the sister are very off with each other, and like it feels very awkward. And Bluey picks up and goes, "Why does Brandy want to go? Because her sister can't have kids." Yeah. And whilst the sister is playing with Bingo and watches Bingo run away after being devoured by the cheetah, the mum's voiceover is explaining to Bluey, well, you know, when you really want something, but you just can't have it, and there's nothing anyone can do, it's kind of like that. And it's like, it gets you. And, it's just an incredible show. And if you've got kids, 100% go invest some time in watching Bluey with them. And then
nieces and nephews.
Or nieces and nephews, any
That's
kids
how
in your life.
It's just a great show regardless. It's just a great... And it's doing a good job exposing people to a lot of Australian culture and Australian phrases, and it's so good. It's
I've learned a lot.
Bluey's awesome. Bluey's awesome.
Anyway, that's my Bluey tangent. In other news, the very strangely still alive video game forum named Resetera.
Well, it's not. This isn't news. This is something.
This is an anecdotal thing.
Yeah, this is an anecdotal thing that I thought, you know what? If we're going to have nothing to talk about, I want to bring this up. And we've had stuff to talk about, but I want to bring it up anyway. So, there's a certain gaming forum I guess you could call it the unofficial PlayStation forum. And every couple of months or so, and I don't know why they do this, but it just further proves their obsession. Every couple of months or so, someone will start a thread on this forum that polls, they put a poll up and they're like, which is the best looking current gen console? And they keep doing it in the hopes the PlayStation 5 will win. And it never does, right? So if you needed more proof that the PlayStation 5 is an unattractive console, there's no more proof than the fact that a PlayStation forum, it can't win a poll on a PlayStation forum that it's a good looking console. Yeah. You know, and I brought this up on Twitter, and then a lot of people, because I actually have a surprising number of PlayStation followers, and I'm not sure why.
You're the most reliable.
Good at being an insider on it.
You're the most reliable PlayStation insider we've got.
They've got. And they were like, "Oh, but the PlayStation 5's got the best games." I'm like, "But it's not about the games; it's about the look." And then you have other people that are like, "Oh, the PlayStation 5's a great looking console. At least they went for something unique rather than a plain block." And you know why I find comments like that hugely disingenuous? Because 90% of the people that make a comment like that, if the script was flipped and the Series X looked like the PS5 and the PS5 looked like the Series X, all those same PlayStation fans would be talking about how brutally minimalistic and beautiful the PS5 is.
Look at the curves,
it's so beautiful and clean, and oh my god! And then they'd be laughing at the Series X, talking about what a stupid Wi-Fi router it is. So I just find those comments disingenuous. Newsflash: it's okay for you to like design and looks. You know, as the saying goes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So design is a subjective subject. But ultimately, it's okay if you like the look of something that is widely considered to be unattractive. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. In the end, the PS5 is ultimately a gross console to look at. It just is. Whether you want to admit that or not is up to you. It's ultimately a gross console. But that's okay. Like, Sony's had a pretty good track record. The PS1, for its time, was a perfectly okay looking console. The PS2 was quite a good looking and ahead of its time console. Like, if you have a look at the design of the PS2 and then have a look at the design of every Xbox from the Xbox One onwards, you can see the parallels there. Like, the PS2 100%. Was quite ahead of its time. Even the PS3, people made fun of it as a George Foreman grill. I still thought it was a pretty good looking console. And the PS3 Slim is a very good looking console.
The fat PS3 is kind of but the Slim looks good.
No, I don't mind it. The PS3, the third PS3 Slim, the third PS3, the second Slim, disgusting. Like that was where Sony started to go off the rails in terms of their hardware design. The PS4 is a weird one for me.
Yeah.
The PS4 Eraser looked good then in 2013.
Yeah.
But I think has aged poorly and will age more and more poorly as time goes on. I think that Eraser look.
Also, it was like you try to plug in things, you better be facing the plugs, or good luck getting anything
trying to plug in my dongle for my headphones into the back of that stupid thing.
Who thought extending it out from that side was a good idea?
Like, if you wanted the slant, have it at the front, but the back be flat.
Seriously.
You don't have to continue the slant at the back. That's just
no. You're laughing, but it was legitimately like pissed me off. I'm like, come on, just plug my
used to annoy the crap out of me. Oh my god! And then the Slim,
design,
the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, they're weird consoles. In photos, they look disgusting, but in person, they actually weren't that bad. It was weird. Like, photos did those consoles no justice whatsoever. Like, in person, they were okay.
The Pro, though, I mean, it's a Big Mac, so...
Yeah, I know. It's a bit... I mean, that was just a poor... Like, Sony was still learning what the hell they were doing there in terms of...
Yeah.
Because remember, they basically admitted to the fact that they were scared to break backwards compatibility if they changed the PS4 Pro too much. So all they did was take a second GPU and duct tape it on. That's basically all they did. Where the One X is almost an entirely new console and yet did not break backwards compatibility at all.
Yeah.
And the PS5 is just gross. It's like they took the fan renders from 2004, 2005, when people were doing fan renders of the PS3. It's like, this is what the PS3 is going to
curves
look like.
everywhere.
It's
Do you remember
like
the
they took
boomerang
those fan
controller?
renders.
Yes.
Yes. It's like they took those fan renders and were like, what if we made that? And they did. They went and made it. But isn't that the irony of it? So every time there's a new PlayStation, and it happens with Nintendo's consoles and Xbox consoles, but less so. I feel like the community in the PlayStation fan render space is larger and more fervent.
Yeah.
But before every PlayStation console comes out, a whole bunch of really great, talented designers do a bunch of fan renders, and a lot of them are genuinely fantastic. But what I find ironic is, leading into the PS3 and the PS4, most of the fan renders were really out there, edgy, futuristic-looking, space age, and each time Sony went with a nice, clean, plain-looking console.
Yep.
So all these designers were like, they gave up. So in the lead up to the PS5, all these fan renders were like ultra minimalistic, clean, plain. And then Sony went with the space age ugly thing. It's like they just did it to screw them over.
It was a long play troll. It was a long play troll.
I just found that utterly
It's not
hilarious.
just the looks. The PS5 is a console that needs a stand, no matter if it's vertical or horizontal.
I can't.
What is that?
Oh my God. It needs again, what more proof do you need that it's a poorly designed console than it needs a stand lying down?
When I bought my TV trolley, I had to measure because eventually I'm gonna get a PS5. I'm like, I gotta make sure I have enough room from my TV trolley to the PS5.
Oh
to the TV.
my God. I will say, I put purple plates on it. $84 later for these purple plates.
Look good though,
for
I'm
pieces
guessing.
of plastic. It is less ugly now.
Yeah.
Like, just removing the white and changing the color legitimately makes a difference.
And you have the disc drive version?
Digital.
That
was another massive mistake, given prices of digital first-party games, $125 in Australia. So,
God damn.
Whoops.
Mate, day one PlayStation Plus can't come soon enough for me.
Seriously.
Like, I just want Sony to hurry up and add
that's
day
what
one
happened
games
this
so
week.
I can give them...
That launched.
Yeah, it did.
It did. It launched in Australia. So I've been seeing the PlayStation 1 games on the store. I'm not going to buy them because I have a PS3 which plays PS1 games natively. So I don't need...
Like, you can put the disc in?
Yeah. I can put my PS1
the
discs.
original fat console
What?
came with...
I knew it was PS2
all
compatible. I
backwards.
didn't... What?
It
Really?
came with the actual chip, and then they took
No,
it out.
it's not PS2 compatible anymore. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
PS1 compatibility has been there from day one, disc, and there's digital games as well.
Okay.
PS2 emulation, backwards compatibility, it was there at launch.
Yes. On the
and
fat
then
one
it
only.
stopped
right?
about a year in. Was it a year?
They took the part out, didn't they, from future consoles?
So what happened was the NTSC consoles had hardware-based backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
The PAL consoles had software emulation-based backwards compatibility. So if you still owned a launch PS3 today from America or NTSC, it would still play PS2 games today.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
But if you bought any other PlayStation 3, even a launch one, it would have the PS2 compatibility, I assume, patched out of it. I hope that's
I
correct.
always thought it was a hardware thing that they did for the first launch, and
Only
then they
NTSC.
removed it later on.
Only
but,
NTSC.
but yeah, either way, crazy stuff. Now we're obviously an hour later, so it's already
I
quarter
was going to
past
say
one
the
for
point is because we started this tangent. The point ultimately is that it's okay to like something that is bad. Look at everyone making fun of me with Crackdown 3 and The Order, Killzone Shadowfall. It's okay.
I'll give you those.
It's okay to like things that are considered bad. You don't have to fight. Like, in the end, PlayStation 5s are flying off shelves. You don't have to come to defend Sony's honor because they made an ugly console. It's okay. It's an ugly console. They'll learn
fix it
from
with
it.
the slim
And the
version.
PlayStation... They'll make a PlayStation 5 Slim, which I'm sure will be a million times better looking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the PlayStation 6 will probably be a good looking
What would you
console.
do if the PS5 Slim is the same design in every shape and
But
form,
just small.
just 25% smaller?
Then it actually would be a router.
Yes.
The size would be appropriate for a router.
God.
Also, the disk drive can't get smaller, so it'd look even uglier sticking out of it.
Yeah,
Right.
it could get worse.
Yeah, the Series
Okay.
S though. Now that is pinnacle. That is pinnacle console design.
Oh, see, the Series S is a funny one for me. Like, there's a fake one in the background.
Yes, that's fake. I keep looking at it.
Yeah, that's fake.
It's the cardboard that you could.
The Series
print out?
S, yes, it was a fan fest thing. That's actually a controller holder. It slides open and you can store a
that's
controller in there. But it's literally the dimensions of a Series S.
Yeah.
My problem with the Series S, there's one thing that stops the Series S from being a fantastic looking console, and that's that black grille.
No, that's the best part.
Nah, that ruins it.
Have you seen the marketing around it? It's so good.
Hey,
Using the circle and
you say that they outsold PlayStation in Japan for the
Again,
second time this generation so far, and I still think if they just made the Japanese flag using the Series S console and just did that as a special edition,
that'd be
red
cool.
speaker.
yeah, boom, done.
In general, they need more limited editions because the grill has such cool. Like the Sonic one, for example, should have just been the golden ring. That's it.
Yeah.
No Sonic and Knuckles on it. It should have just been the golden ring.
That
That'd be
part
so
I
cool.
agree on. But if they're not going to use that and make
You're right.
limited edition stuff, then make it all the same color.
Yes.
I don't know. I really like that it's quite bold.
two-tone?
And it's aesthetic.
It does
I
look
really-
like a speaker. It
and
looks like a drive-through speaker. It
But
does.
great. So
fair.
many people have a smart speaker in their home, so it's kind of just disappears into the background, but it still kind of looks like an Xbox. I don't know. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
and
Also,
it's-
this is a console
I find it-
you need to physically pick up and realize just how tiny it is. Holy crap!
Size-wise, forget
Yeah,
it. It's
it's next
ridiculous
level.
how small it is. Like, it's almost handheld size as it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I held it in my hands the other day just purely out of curiosity, and I'm like, I mean, it's a big handheld, but this is almost handheld size. Like,
Yep. I mean,
In
my
terms
video
of-
card is literally bigger than it. That's all. I gotta
yeah,
know.
like in terms of footprint, silhouette, it's handheld size. Where it loses its handheld sizing is in the thickness.
yes.
That's where it loses it. But in terms of its silhouette, that is Steam Deck or probably Steam Deck size.
I need to look up a Steam Deck to Series S comparison actually, because
Yeah.
that would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
I just want to do some housekeeping. There's 200 people watching us at the moment, but only 81 likes. Only 81 people have enough energy in their bodies to move their thumb or their mouse cursor and click the thumbs up that is visible on their screen watching us talking. Come on, get us over 100 likes at least, people.
You mentioned sales, by the way.
Yeah, I did.
I find it funny that I still see on Twitter and everything, people still think the gap is like, it's like
Yes.
5 million. I'm
Yep.
like, do you really think the gap's that big? Like, you keep seeing in MPD that Xbox was the top selling or second top selling. You see them in Japan making inroads. You see, do people still really think the gap's that big? I know why they think that.
It's wishful thinking.
Threatening to their life.
And
to
the
think
damage
otherwise.
controls already started, right? You already have so many people going out saying, "I need to see the numbers separating the Series S and the X because
Of course
the Series
you
S
do.
is not a current gen
Stop
console.
counting the
It doesn't
Series
count."
S.
Yep.
Stop counting it.
Yep. It's
It
already
doesn't
starting.
count.
They see the writing on the wall too. They know it's happening.
I'm
Oh,
telling
it's
you,
so
man, like,
adorable. It is
I
so
reckon
adorable.
that gap is so much smaller than people
Honestly,
think.
I think in NA it's probably overtaken it. I have no
in North America it would be in front easily. I'd be
I have no
shocked if it's not
things
in front
behind
in
it,
North
but just-
America.
in general,
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
during the Xbox One, PS4 time, the 2-to-1 or the 2.5-to-1 gap was not North America. That was a global
No,
thing.
it was
When
worldwide.
Zuge took out his numbers, you figured out that it's like a 5 million difference between PS4s and Xbox Ones in North America. It's like, hey,
Yeah, they're definitely doing.
Do
a
you
lot
want
better this
the
time.
I've got the size comparison for a Steam Deck and a Series S if you want it.
I'm
Stop
watching
the
the stream,
count.
so if you want to put it up there, I'm very curious.
Yeah, so it's it's just the numbers. It's 200 it's centimeters or millimeters, sorry. 298 by 117 by 49 for a Steam Deck. So
Yeah.
298, 117, 49, and then the Series S is 275 by 151 by 63. So it's just
What
the
the
thickness. It's actually a little
hell?
shorter. Yeah,
That's insane.
Steam Deck's very big. Yeah, it's not as long.
Okay,
It's
That's
not
what I'm
wide.
saying. So a
Do you
Series
still
S
think a
is
handheld
already
is off?
portable sized.
yeah, maybe not. I think you just convinced me.
And it's only 40 millimeters more thickness wise too. It's not that much.
Okay, the Switch is still a fair bit smaller.
Yeah, because the Switch is a weak piece of shit.
Yes.
hardware-wise.
That's not that bad. Like all things considered.
Also, when you take the controllers off the Switch, you realize the screen's kind of tiny. It looks like a big
Yeah.
phone.
It does.
That's actually not too bad. Like, that's already handheld sized. Like, if they could find a way to just thin it out a bit, whack an OLED screen on it.
And I mean, 720, right? I mean, if it's a tiny little screen, just 720, 1080. I don't know.
1080.
Okay, 1080. You're right. Fair enough. 1080.
1080 OLED,
please.
lovely jubbly.
It's 2022. Let's not sit there and make up
Fair
stories
enough.
about how
Fair
OLED
enough.
screens are so expensive in that size. No, they're not.
And the Series S also has another 1440p game just a couple days ago, right?
Which one?
Resident Evil 2 or 7? Resident Evil 7 is now 1440 on the Series S.
Oh, nice. Good for them. I'm glad
Hopefully,
that's slightly coming true. For them.
Surely Benedict Fox will be a 1440 game. Or
It might be
4K.
more.
Did you guys
4K?
see the other footage
Or it
they
was
released
4K?
of it?
Yes, I did. The extended gameplay footage looked
That looked
great.
so much better than just the trailer. Even the
God,
combat looked
that game,
smoother.
man.
The visuals, holy crap! The
That
blend of
game is
4
gonna
in
be
background.
We did our communal top 10, out of the showcase. The developers for Benedict Fox actually retweeted our article, which was quite cool because we made that. I think they were number 3 or something in our top 10. So lots of the team were very, very excited to play this one.
I can't wait to review it.
Nick's like, wait.
I thought you said you were going to review it, John.
I throw my hat in the ring. You will have to have an arm wrestle to decide.
Also, there's a video for that top 10 as well. That's a pretty cool video. You guys should watch it.
It is a pretty cool video. I've heard some really, really talented guy narrated it and put it together. But some very nice transitions in there. Hey, right. So very quickly before we get into other fun things, there's a nice question to just round off this kind of historical look back on consoles and things from good old Collingwood. So I thought it might be a good one to chuck in there, Nick, if you've got it on.
I
the
don't know
screen.
if he'll be at the footy today because I'm going to the football after this. Is it? Hold on. Is it?
That should be at the very bottom.
It would be the second one. Yeah, the first one's not a question; it's just a suggestion. It's further down.
Hello, John, Nick, Aarsal, and Jesse. Have you tried any of the demos from the ID at Xbox Summer Game Fest? If you have, any noteworthy entries? I have not played any of those demos. Did they come out?
Yeah.
A couple of days
it's a
ago.
week-long demo fest. I think Nottian put out an article with a summary of everything to try. I have to admit, I have not had a chance to play a single one.
Yeah, I haven't either. Is Benedict Fox one of them?
No, I'm afraid not. These are all slightly more indie than perhaps. But hey, I'd love to.
I would
I'd love to hear.
not have played one if I didn't read the questions earlier today. And I'm like, hey, we're gonna gas that. So literally, as Jesse first invited me, I was playing one, and Hellsinger was one of the demos. And I haven't
Is that
played
the metal rhythm
the metal
game?
rhythm game. Yep, I haven't played any other rhythm game like that before, and that was surprisingly good. The music is better than most rhythm games for sure. Yeah, you got to be into metal, but I mean, if you're not into metal,
I've heard it's got Serge Tankian from System of a Down.
The two songs I played were both from a band called Something Feather, I think.
Don't know.
I'm not sure, but overall, it was pretty cool. You guys should give it a shot if you're into rock music and rhythm games.
I am into both things, so I will give that a download. Thank you very much.
That's a lot of demos.
Yeah,
a lot. It's like 35 or something.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool that they're doing that though to get some enhanced kind of like.
Spider
hey, check this out.
Heck. What's Spider Heck?
Go download it and find out quick, Nick.
It looks like there's two spiders fighting with lightsabers.
Sounds great. I'm in.
Is this Fortnite again?
Yeah.
I'll happily give it a go. Now, Nick, we're at that point in the show. We haven't done one of these for a while.
Yeah, right? Haven't had one of these for a while.
Haven't done one of these for a while. And Aarsal, I don't know if you've been on here when we've been able to press the button and you get to witness the glory.
I haven't. I listened to it, but
the 200 people watching right now, if this is your first time on the XboxEra podcast, enjoy this musical masterpiece from one of our community members. It's beautiful. It's a thing of joy. Hit it.
Rumourmill. We've never heard that before. It's the Rumourmill. Things change, we can't be sure. It's the Rumourmill. You know they may not come true.
The XboxEra Podcast is not responsible for websites presenting these rumors as facts.
Okay, Nick, take it away.
So this is a small one. I asked if I could give more detail on this, and I couldn't, unfortunately. So I have been fortunate enough to develop a relationship with a brand new source.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was very much... So I'm going to give some backstory to put a bit of filler into this rumour mill, because it's actually a really short rumour mill. So I'm going to give a bit of filler
to eat up some airwaves, yeah?
So I came across... Someone sent me a video of something, and I'm not going to say what, because I don't know if I'll get anyone in trouble. So I got a video of something. It was a game being fiddled with on PC.
Okay.
Right? That's all I'm going to say. Someone's like, oh, have you seen this? And they sent me a clip. And someone's fiddling with PC. Shush. Someone's fiddling with PC settings on a certain game. I'm like, oh, I might leak this video. So I haven't. But what I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to check stuff, right? So to brag a little bit, I'm in this Discord, and within this Discord, I got invited into the insider channel in this Discord.
Oh,
right?
damn.
As funny as that sounds. So I popped into this Discord and I'm like, hey, have you all seen this leaked video? I got sent this video of this thing. And this guy in this channel, who I've never actually spoken to before, goes, where'd you get that video? I said, oh, someone sent it to me. He's like, yeah, that's my video. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. Someone sent it to me, and I'm glad you said something, because I was going to leak this, and now I'm glad I did. And so anyway, we started chatting privately, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this person has kindly decided they'll share stuff with me, which is great.
That's cool.
That's very kind of them.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, you're not sharing what you saw.
Oh,
Nothing
no.
to do with the video,
I
you
told
just-
them, I said, look, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not going to tell you where I got the video from, but I won't share this video. I'm not going to say anything about this video.
So the rumor was that you saw a video.
No, he's about to.
The rumor's coming.
Okay.
So out of nowhere, this new source sends me a DM the other day going, oi, so EA's making a Marvel game. Heard EA's probably making a Marvel game. I'm like, really?
Everyone's making a Marvel game nowadays.
That's interesting. Yeah, that was... Let me just check to make sure I said the right thing.
That's why we need a 30-second buffer before we go live.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. It just says EA is working on a Marvel game. Now, I can't, because I asked, because he mentioned what it would probably be about. Which IP within Marvel it would be about. And I can't even give clues. I'm bad at giving clues without giving stuff away.
Yeah.
And especially because the problem is people know me too well. So if I say certain things, people will go, oh, that's Nick, which means he's talking about this. So I can't say.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All he told me I'm allowed to say is that there's a rumor going around that EA is working on a Marvel title.
To be
what I
honest,
forgot to do? I actually forgot to run this rumor by a couple of people.
Oh, before
today's
it's
show.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there's a couple of people I know that know EA stuff, and I forgot to run this by them. But oh well,
To be honest,
I will anyway.
question-
I'll run it by them. But yeah,
the bigger question isn't what the IP is. The bigger question is who's making it.
That is an interesting, because I'm sitting there thinking Battlefield
Yeah,
are just doing DICE are just doing Battlefield.
Yeah. Respawn is doing a bunch of stuff.
Respawn are doing Jedi Survivor.
But they could also be
who
doing
else
more.
does EA own?
Codemasters.
Codemasters. They wouldn't be doing.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
no
think
Marvel
they
racing game.
Marvel
The only thing I can think is when they say DICE is focused on Battlefield, is it DICE just DICE in Stockholm or DICE is in all of
DICE
DICE?
is
'Cause
big.
there's DICE
DICE
LA,
is
there's
big, aren't
DICE.
they?
Yeah. And I'm sure
EA
BioWare
has
is
a lot of
stuck
studios.
in Mass Effect and Dragon Age, right? But they don't have any time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not going to be BioWare, so it's got to be a DICE studio.
Yeah.
Got to be.
That's interesting.
I don't know. They didn't say. They sent me a DM like 4 days ago, just saying, "Hey, EA's working on a Marvel game." Now,
That's cool.
again, like another thing to keep in mind is like, I got no detail on whether this just started, how far in this is.
Yeah.
Is it still at the stage where they could just can it? Like, I don't know. They reached out to me out of literally nowhere. I'm like, oh, look, I've only just established a relationship with this person. I'm not going to bug them for rumors. They just reached out to me. They're like, hey, EA's working on a Marvel game. I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then they told me they may have mentioned what the franchise probably is, and
I mean, it makes sense,
face on that
right?
one.
They have a good relationship with Disney. Well, yeah, I mean, they do.
Disney and Lucas, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, kind. I mean, there's the Battlefront fiasco, but then
that was the other reason I found it weird.
Yeah,
that EA would be doing a Marvel game. I just found that strange because of what happened with Star Wars stuff.
That's true.
Well, maybe it's more a sign of the times, right? Like we learned recently that Microsoft could have worked with Marvel sooner, and they said no, we want to focus on our own IP.
Yeah,
right. So that was that. So clearly, Marvel, Disney, they're all shopping around because they've got great IPs that hit pop culture, zeitgeist, all of that sort of stuff, and yeah, why not? So it makes perfect sense to me. EA is a big player. They have an existing relationship.
Who made Anthem?
BioWare. EA. But BioWare, Anthem are making Mass Effect.
Can't they do an
Dragon
Iron Man
Age.
Game? Anthem was just the Iron Man.
Maybe they handed that stuff over, but you got to remember, I think a lot of studios they now have a little bit more freedom in terms of what engine they pick. Like, didn't Mass Effect is being made not with.
Yeah, I think it's Unreal instead of.
It's Unreal,
Frostbite,
right?
yeah.
Instead of Frostbite. So
maybe we're getting a Marvel soccer game, football game.
I link you guys the amount
Blade
of
game.
development. The amount of development studios that EA has is insane. It's like over 40 teams. They've got a lot of studios, mostly support, but still, even the smaller ones like Motive that were support are now doing their own thing with Dead Space.
Well, they're doing Dead Space remake, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's January. So, what would their next thing be?
Yeah, I are not Skywalker in the chat just said EA Motive should be going gold with Dead Space remake this fall. Feels like they could have something else in pre-production.
But realistically, it'd
super
be
early.
Dead
This
Space
could be
2.
a situation where the deal was just signed to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how far along this is. But man, I wish BioWare would make an Iron Man game. Like Anthem, I've said it for so long. Anthem is exactly how an Iron Man game should feel. They nailed how that
I wish they
feels.
didn't drop Anthem, man. I was so looking forward to like the relaunch of the game.
Yeah, so was I. It runs at 60 now on Xbox.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's not
Got
bad. Maybe I'll
FPS
play the
boosted to
campaign.
60.
Is it
does
worth
feel good.
downloading and playing? Did they remove all the grinding you have to do to progress with the story?
They changed it quite a bit not too long after launch. It's definitely better, and it's a very fun game, even if the story's weak.
The primary
really
complaints
fun
with
to
the
play.
games for a while was just the end game, is what I saw.
Fair enough. Such a shame.
I liked Anthem. I liked it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Repurpose it into an Iron Man game.
There you go. That's the Rumourmill people. Now it's 1:30.
I wish I could give more detail on but
to be honest,
he told me he's like, no, don't mention the franchise.
I think your first thing might be just as juicy as the second thing. A game with PC settings that you were surprised about.
Okay, yeah.
That's in my head right now. I'm trying to.
No. That's not like. Oh, I've forgotten what's leaked and what hasn't leaked.
Actually, wait. I don't want to.
I don't think that's leaked at all.
Okay.
No.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might as well stay stum about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the Rumourmill.
I mean, that led to me having this new source,
Yes.
so it was all okay in the end.
It was win-win in the end. Now, we've got a few more community questions, but before we do those, we like to say thank you to all of our patrons. And if you're new to the XboxEra podcast and you haven't clicked like yet, please do so. But equally, you may not have heard that we have a Patreon, which you can join and support us directly. It enables us to do all these cool things you're seeing on the screen right now, as well as our main website, the forums, and our brand new Game Pass tracking app called Day One, which you can go and visit and go check it out if you're a big Game Pass subscriber. Lots of new features probably going to hit in the next week or so, being worked on by our development team at the moment. I gave a big update on what those are last week. And you know, the website itself is regularly updated with lots of wonderful content. I think recently we've just dropped the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative review. Nick did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I think Jesse went and reviewed Assassin's Creed Origins, because that's just hit Game Pass. Suffice to say, if you're an Xbox fan, you should probably come and check it out. And we also started a brand new video series for Day One, which is purely focusing on our Game Pass focused sort of sub brand. And we've even started a Twitter account for that, which you can follow us at day1_xe on Twitter. I'm sure Jesse will probably spam the chat with a few links. But patrons particularly get to ask us community questions. So they have a special section on the forum that they can go and post stuff to annoy us with long, overly lengthy, verbose questions about nonsensical things. And we're going to clear up a few of those now. Interestingly, I thought there were loads of questions this week, but if I look at this,
there's actually not that many. A lot of it's just comments and replies to other questions.
Yeah.
So hit it.
Creaky Legs. Hello, lads. We live in a time where it seems most people just move on to the next game if they don't get around to it during the zeitgeist period of its initial release. I don't buy new games very often, except for the occasional Nintendo exclusive, because it's either in Game Pass or I just wait for a sale, because FOMO really doesn't get to me at this point in gaming with so much to play all the time. I'm the same. I basically buy Nintendo's games when they come out. Everything else I wait for Game Pass, and Sony's games I just don't bother because they cost $1,000 per game. But let's see what kind of gamer you fall under. Would you rather be granted 1 month paid vacation of free time to play as many of your backlog of games, or the ability to play just one of the games you're anticipating most right now?
Ooh, okay.
I mean, so that's an easy one.
A month off to play whatever I want that's available at the moment
in your backlog.
Or what was this?
You got a game that's coming up right now.
You can play right now a game that you're anticipating in the future, like Starfield. You can play Starfield
Fable.
right now.
Avowed. Elder Scrolls 6.
No. I'm saying which of those two things would you rather do? The month off to play backlog, or the new game now?
But I'm saying new game now could include even like Elder Scrolls 6, let's say. So make it more enticing.
Yes.
I would pick. I would definitely pick a month off.
Okay,
Lord knows.
Would you?
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Like, the games will come when the games come, right? And
exactly.
A part of gaming for me and gaming culture, as well as doing this show, is when, especially if it's a single player game, talking through those cool moments. How terrible would it be if you had this wish and you chose to play BioShock back in the 90s and you couldn't tell anyone, no one would really get what you meant about Would You Kindly until they'd all played it, and you had to wait years and years and years. That would suck, right? Because you just be like, oh, I've already played it, and then everyone would be all excited when the time comes, and you just be like,
maybe change it to the game releases right now, and you can play it.
Yeah, but then everyone would have it, so I would buy it if I wanted it. You know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So it's a month off.
I would take the 100%. New game.
Really?
Only because I know. Look, normally I'd take the backlog option, but I know that in that month off, I'll keep getting distracted by Rocket League and Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
And then I won't go to my backlog. So I'm better off just getting Metroid Prime 4 now, rather than going for the backlog and then getting distracted by Rocket League. I'd just take Metroid Prime 4 now.
Prime 4.
Or Perfect Dark.
Oh, that is tempting. It is tempting to have Perfect Dark to play through, but no,
imagine getting Perfect Dark.
I'd love a month
now.
off.
Yeah,
like, especially what I heard about Perfect Dark. I was like, as soon as I heard what I heard about Perfect Dark, I'm like, oh, can I please play that now, please?
No, easy answer is the month. I mean, I'm only like 27, but I already dread getting older. And like games will come. I don't need to move things forward. They'll come eventually. Give me that month off. 20s? Yeah, 27, turning 28 soon.
Man, so old.
Oh man, what I would give to still be in my 20s.
Man,
the things I would do to still be rocking in my mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
What I did to be back in high school.
I wouldn't mind being in my 20s.
I didn't have this dad bod.
Oh, no, I don't have the dad bod. I'm okay. I'm okay on that front. But actually, no, maybe my 30s. Maybe my 30s for me. I still hadn't quite grown into my looks in my 20s. Where I think in my 30s, I'd go 30s.
Someone put that Greek flag up on the. Put it up
I'd go 30s, I reckon. And in my 30s, I was stronger. Like when I used to go to the gym in my 20s, I could barely lift anything. I'm a lot stronger now, and I was a lot stronger in my 30s.
Who's
so
Jim?
The gym.
No,
The
who's
gymnasium.
Jim?
The
Oh,
Gaim.
sorry.
Oh, the
What's
Gaim.
his
The
name?
Gaim. Sorry, the Gaim.
Wait, you didn't actually when he said gym, you didn't think gymnasium?
No, I did. That's the joke.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
I know what a gym is. But
I thought
I'm
maybe
never
just
gonna-
like the
I'm
language.
never going to go and step foot in one. You guys have humor in Canada, right? And so
We do, but some things don't like.
I'm surprised
translate.
people haven't taken that gym joke further and called it the James.
Yeah. It's
I'm
the,
quite
the
surprised
full
people are
official
heading
language.
off to the
That'd
James.
be good.
Someone
go
will
work
do.
out
Why
with
don't you bring
James.
that in, Nick? Bring
I
that
will.
in as a thing.
I invented it just now on the XboxEra Podcast. I'm going to
TM.
call it the James. I'm going to go work out with James. And then people are going to be like, who's James? I'm like, Jim.
But no, my issue is I don't have one single game that I really, really, really want to play right now. Like that I
Perfect
know
Dark
exists.
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, Metroid Prime 4 there. Do you want to really play that? Awesome.
Brit's like, oh, why aren't you picking GoldenEye? Because GoldeNeye's going to come. Why waste it on GoldenEye? GoldenEye's coming in the next couple of months. So I'm not going to waste it
What's
on
your wish?
GoldenEye.
Move a life forward 2 months.
Yeah, that's right.
I did have a different solution where I've reviewed 94 games now.
Wow.
So I don't have a backlog anymore. Actually, 95. So I just take it forward.
That's crazy. Like the backlog is terrifying, and like there's so many games I've downloaded, and
I'd rather just magically be good at handling time. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I think the thing is, gaming has definitely become a mood for me.
Yeah.
And I find friction, like when Blade Runner crashed for the first time, I'd been playing it for like 30 minutes, and there's no skipping dialogue in Blade Runner.
Ooh.
Right. So I've been playing and investigating and picking up clues, and then I was like, "Oh,
yeah, there goes all motivation."
This is a PC port, and I have to save manually, and it crashed, so I've just lost all that." And then I was like, at first I didn't restart it again until later on that evening because I was just like, "My mood is gone. I'm not doing that again right this second. I'm too annoyed." So yeah, did your sword just fall off the wall?
It fell like 20 minutes ago. Someone pointed it out too. That's what the noise was.
I was like,
it's definitely.
I swear that's hanging up. You've got
But you're
a
right.
boost.
There are few things as demotivating as losing progress in a game.
Yeah. Especially in narrative games. Oh, I'd love to see you walk and talk me through this stuff again. Honest, the plot is so good.
Where are we going, Anya? Hey, Anya. Where are we going, Anya?
Control report.
It's like, man, I can't. My mood is always this.
Those are loading screens, though, right? I'm pretty sure.
No, that's Rocket League. That's what.
No. I mean the Anya report.
No, they did loads of that narrative stuff in the middle. I mean, it was just slowing you down while they loaded in something.
I feel like those were loading screens, hidden loading screens, which makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, maybe.
They force you to slow down. They don't let you sprint. They can only move forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Anya.
Stop it.
What's going on, Anya?
Stop it now. Go on. What's the next community question?
Everyone's idol Goro. Hello, panel. Question to producer Jesse, or anyone that might advise. I watched a review of the latest Spike Chunsoft game, which was a great review, by the way. But I was wondering which Spike game/series to play first. Xbox has recently got entire generations of games from publishers that have either rarely or in some cases never supported them. Partially because of this, I have never played a Spike game. So where should I start? AI? Zero Escape? Danganronpa?
Danganronpa.
I have. This is not my field.
Oh, Danganronpa. I don't know why I read Dragon there. That my brain put that
I
together
did it
as
every
Dragon.
time
'Cause
when
it's
that
not a real
first
word.
came out. Yeah.
Danganronpa. This is an interesting question. That's actually. Yeah, I was going to go with a double Rumourmill today.
Well,
and
yeah.
this question
I wonder what you're going to
relates to my Rumourmill, but I'm going to save it for next week. But
Okay.
there's your clue already. It's
Yeah, I
like
was
this
gonna
question kind of relates to my next Rumourmill. But yeah,
We're
sorry,
getting the
Jessica.
Fate series.
Yeah, pretty much. I've played Danganronpa. I've played AI. I might go back and review it. Anything that's on Game Pass, I would say first. I don't think Zero Escape is on Game Pass, so that one is just more of a commitment when you've got to pay. The first AI game is on Game Pass, and I think it's great. Danganronpa is super horny and a little
Edgy,
little too much at times. I know I get yelled at by Super Turbo Weebs for that, but I think AI is a great mix of funny, horny, like making fun of the horniness of anime, and actually being just a really well-written game with one of the best English dubs I've ever seen from a Japanese title. So I would say start with AI. If you like it, probably by the time most people get to it, maybe the sequel would be on sale. Otherwise, they're pretty long. So I would say it's worth buying at full price if you get really into the series.
What about Ace Attorney? It's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, but you only get the original trilogy, and it's never going to be on the console again. So if you get a Switch, go for it.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, AI is legitimately one of my top games of the year. The sequel now that just came
Nirvana
out. It's
Initiative.
fantastic. The full title: AI: The Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative. Because
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I actually did download it a couple days ago, and I played like the first hour and a half. It's interesting. A lot of dialogue, which I guess is the game. So
that is the game.
Yeah.
But yes, good question. Remember that question for next week. Relates to the Rumourmill. Sort of.
Duly noted.
Kind of.
Maybe.
Okay.
Not at all.
Not really. No, it does. Morventhus. Morventhus. First, before I get to pick one or both, I would like to apologize. Nick, I'm sorry about the Goldeneye joke question I made last week. I didn't realize how many people were actually pestering you about it legitimately. I don't even remember that question. What was that question?
Maybe a super chat?
I think it was mocking. Why wasn't Goldeneye there, Nick? Like, why did you lie to everybody?
I'm
about
going
Goldeneye?
back through the thread. I want to see what Morventhus said.
It was something like that.
He said,
oh yeah, it says where was
Goldeneye?
Goldeneye?
Yeah.
Where was Goldeneye, Nick? Why did you tell them to remove it from the show? Yeah.
Slash us.
That's fine. The only person that really gives a shit about Goldeneye is Rand anyway.
Heard he's a really big fan.
Now to pick one or both. Why do you think
we always do
Microsoft?
both?
Yeah. Why do you think Microsoft has not done another exclusive Japanese game push like they did with the 360? A la Blue Dragon Lost Odyssey. They seem to be in a good position to capture some of the audience that love them. I do understand that these things take time, though. So maybe it is happening and we just need to stay in a high state of readiness.
So on that one, let's do them one at a time before we do the second part.
Well, they're all skipping Xbox.
Well,
so Microsoft...
If we're talking partnership, they did announce on their show Wolong, right? Now, initially I thought, oh, wow, it's an exclusive. It's not. It's coming to all consoles, but it is a Game Pass day one partnership. That's where you're going to see Microsoft really lean in. It's not about taking the games away from all the platforms, but it is about at least making Xbox a viable option for Japanese developers. The sales are starting to come in. They're seeing the growth. And by saying, look what Yakuza did on this console. Look what Persona's hopefully going to do.
Persona's going to do.
It's going to do so well.
And it's going to talk to those Japanese publishers. Like, at a minimum, if you feel that it's not worth your time, we'll pay you for a Game Pass exclusive, a Game Pass day one release. That way, it may as well be an exclusive. If I've got the option as a gamer, especially if I'm a multi-platform gamer, to choose between paying 70 quid or just playing it as part of my sub, I'll play it as part of my sub. So
and
I think that's where you're going to see them lean in. That's my
and they'll have the occasional published thing like they just announced with Kojima.
Yeah, exactly. There's another exclusive. Thank you. How did I forget that?
What's nice is that kind of puts to rest a lot of the talk where it's like the only way you can get a game on Game Pass or a big party game is if they also get timed exclusive. No, that's not true. They'll still release it. Also, that's a big deal, by the way. That's a AAA first party AAA game on Game Pass day one. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and if Microsoft wanted to do, what would probably do well in Japan? If Microsoft did it,
brute force,
portable.
Yeah.
Portable. That old.
That would probably.
I feel like you guys are kind of hinting
Japan,
something,
wouldn't it?
Throughout the show. I don't know.
That seems to be what the Japanese market wants.
Yeah. Imagine if
all
they
of
could
a sudden, if you're think about it logically, and I'm being serious now. If they were to, because Jez has, and remember, Jez has rumored about it and talked about how there's one in the lab and all this kind of stuff. If they were to hypothetically make a portable, man, would they suddenly do a lot better in Japan? And if they suddenly start doing a lot better in Japan and selling a genuinely large amount of consoles, all of a sudden those Japanese publishers are like, well, hold on a sec. We suddenly have a Switch that's powerful Let's start putting some games on it.
I just
We don't have to,
if they can
handicap
get
our games anymore.
Series S quality on a handheld.
Japan would probably like that.
I'd play
And
a
it's
lot
not
of games.
just the Switch. The PSP, the Vita, they both did pretty well in
All
Japan.
did well.
Yeah.
Yep. Japan just loves their portables.
Also, in terms of the question, I feel like in general, at least to me, it feels like Microsoft's moving away, not entirely because there's still Project Dragon and things like that, from like higher profile publishing, because they already have so much like robust first party now. They don't got to publish a giant game like Mass Effect because they can make that in-house, that kind of thing. So you'll see games like Aura and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the first part of this question answered. Second,
last we heard about the Phantom Dust reboot was that it wasn't cancelled, but that they didn't have a team actively working on it. Do you think the game is officially permanently on hold, or is it secretly being worked on in the background? Yeah, sorry, Miles. I reckon that thing's dead.
Yeah. They released the remaster and gave it everyone for free for a while. And
yeah. I know when we had Miles on, he was like, "Papa Phil doesn't lie. He wouldn't lie to me. He would let me down." I think this one might be out of Phil's hands here. I don't think it's coming ever.
I don't think it's happening. I would take that 2014 E3 and just forget it ever existed.
that was actually the E3 of dreams because it wasn't real.
Yeah, so Phantom Dust never happened. Scalebound got cancelled. Fable Legends got cancelled. Like, does anything from the 2014 E3 exist? I think just Crackdown
CGI trailer, which showed a lot of destruction, which was not possible in the campaign.
You had the demo as well, the Cool Cloud demo that never came to pass.
God, that was amazing, that though. Did you see that demo?
Yeah, the demo
that was actually legitimately unbelievable.
Individual bullet destruction.
Little took pebbles and rocks. And
seriously, think about that destruction system, mech assault. Running around a city, toppling buildings on top of other mechs, pounding through. Anyway, it is what it is. Next question.
Jesse Brother.
Wait, what?
Cowabunga, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Jessael.
Right?
What?
Did you skip a question? Ash Cohen in between the two?
Oh, yeah, I did too. Wow.
You did totally.
I did as well. I don't know why I skipped through that one. The Ash Cohen 909. A question based on the talk of Xbox in Japan this week. Oh, man, see, we should have brought this up when we were talking about that. As Xbox have outsold the PlayStation this week again, it's good to see Xbox doing well in Japan. If you could revive one Japanese franchise for a reboot or remake, and it doesn't have to be exclusive to Xbox, what would it be? Also, if they were to acquire a Japanese studio, which should it be and why? You all know my answer.
Yeah, I have a pretty obvious answer.
Come on, there's someone else in the chat says they just want to hear you say it.
Sega.
Sorry, say it again.
Sega. It's Sega.
A company we're going to be getting codes from. Woo! Finally on the list.
That's super
Sega. Yeah. I'd want them to buy Sega or Capcom. Capcom's a close second.
Well, okay, no, the question was studio.
Yeah, Sega's got studios.
Okay.
It counts.
The revival that I'd like, a Japanese franchise. See, I'm not...
Have you played like Tenchu or like the older Japanese games?
I was thinking Tenchu because I was like, we don't have much stealth and ninja stuff. I know there's that
you buy From Software and bring back Tenchu. There you go.
That would work for both, actually.
Tenchu's one. I'd be okay with Tenchu. I'm trying to think what else. God.
In the meantime, I have my answer prepped because this is something. If there was one announcement, and none of you guys are going to get crazy about this because it was like a very specific thing with me. I played this game as a kid. There was one announcement that showed up at any show. Well, it'd be a Sony show because it's a Sony first party. I'd get up and like run around the house. And that would be a remake or a reboot of The Legend of Dragoon, this old JRPG for the PlayStation 1 that I literally to this day replay every 2 or so years. In fact, my last replay was on that thing, the Series X. And it worked great and it looked better with retro art.
That's awesome.
Yeah. In terms
I
of
thought you were going to say Bushido Blade or something like that.
No, I don't think I've played one of those.
Oh, wow.
But Sega's games count as Japanese games, don't they?
Yes.
Then Shinobi.
Wasn't there a Shinobi recently? Or no? I was thinking of something else.
The last Shinobi game was on PlayStation 2.
I'm probably thinking of Strider.
I'm thinking of Strider. That's exactly what it was.
Strider.
Yeah.
Strider we got in 2013.
Yeah.
By Double Helix, who then went on to make Killer Instinct.
And then got acquired.
Shinobi. Since we're going Ninja games.
In terms of studio, I don't want them to purchase a Japanese studio. I want them to partner with Mistwalker. Please. You guys did it before and you made 2 amazing games. Do it again.
So buy them.
Yeah, that'd be great too. But a partnership, I'd be happy with that too.
Okay.
What about you, John?
No answer, John?
I don't really have an answer. I'm not hugely into Japanese games. From and Chrome Hounds too. There you go.
Yeah,
that's the only one I've heard you mention on the show. So that's what I was going to say.
I will stand Chrome Hounds until the day I die. Someone needs to make a huge, customizable, destructive, ever-evolving Warfront game involving giant robots. That's what I need in my life.
Speaking of From, they're making a new IP that's in its final stage of development. Or not a new IP, sorry, a new game.
Is this Team A, Team B?
People are saying it's probably Armored Core. I haven't played any of them, so...
Yeah,
we mentioned Armored Core.
I
think we were one of the first to leak Armored Core. We mentioned it on episode 70.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, there we go. I'm pretty sure I watched that episode too.
Because I looked it up. I looked up episode... Because remember, whenever I have a rumor mill and stuff like that, I grab the timestamp and I put it into my OneNote so I can always refer back to it. And I looked through my OneNote and found Armored Core and had a link to the YouTube link, and I was mentioning Armored Core as a part of other stuff. So I think it's out there. It's out there that From is apparently working on Armored Core.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's out there.
Yeah.
I think it's been out there for a while. But yes, I also saw the recent talk about it.
Yep. Maybe
because From was saying that they're working on a bunch of stuff and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Jesse, brother.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Jessael. I like that. They worked well. And I like being Michelangelo because Michelangelo was always my favorite Ninja Turtle. So that worked out well.
So if I'm Donatello and Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo will be used, that means that
Aarsal.
Solinaldo? I don't know.
Wait, which ninja is it again? Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo.
Oh, hey, leader. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
But how do you say it? How do you link your name to it?
Aarsal.
Arsalado, yeah. I mean, that's it.
Arsalado.
It's a Hispanic sounding name now.
I don't know how else to say it. Okay, my question is obviously about the Ninja Nah, it's not. It's about Starfield.
Oh.
What do you guys think they will do regarding Earth? I strongly think Earth will not be there. They will work... they will work into the fiction that we destroyed Earth ourselves with nuclear war, global warming, or something else. This way, they can avoid what a massive undertaking that would be and won't face the hate they will get when people look for their hometown and it isn't exactly perfect down to the last detail, but instead looks like procedurally generated. No. People sure got stupid with that whole procedurally generated thing, like it would be so unjust for some planets to just seem samey. Well, guess what? That's the way it would be in real life. Most planets and moons would be barren rocks with no atmosphere. Hell, more planets than that would not even be solid rock that can be landed on or walked on. They would be gas giants. Just in our local solar system, you will not be able to visit Mercury or Venus. Way too hot. And other than Earth and Mars and plenty of moons. That's it. Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, all gas. Uranus is full of gas.
I'm surprised you didn't try and skip that and call it Uranus or something like that. But yes.
I don't know.
Uranus.
How do you pronounce it? I've always just said Uranus.
It is Uranus.
Yeah.
I've always said Uranus. Well, Neptune and Uranus are more like ice giants, but I wanted to work that joke in. I reckon that whole paragraph, I read that super poorly.
No, that was pretty good.
You did fine.
No, I read that super poorly.
You're good.
To be fair, Travis's grammar and punctuation weren't the best. Didn't help, but I still read that super poorly. I'm sure other star systems will be pretty similar, based on how stars work. And people will bitch about it. Should be fun. Cheers, gentlemen. What was the question?
Earth. What are they going to do with Earth?
Oh yeah, what are they going to do regarding Earth? I kind of forgot what the question was about. I'm not going to answer this question because I don't care about Starfield. You guys can answer it.
I think that the idea of, from a game design perspective, if you're saying you can land anywhere on any planet, well, then people are naturally going to go, okay, I'm going to go visit my hometown on Earth. And then go, oh, it's not the same. Yeah, I think they'll come up with some sort of reason as to why Earth isn't visitable. And maybe the whole Starfield mission, the Constellation mission, is we've launched out and we're in a different galaxy. But if I remember the star map, I still think we're seeing Alpha Centauri and things like that.
Yeah.
Wall 359. So maybe Earth as a system isn't even visitable. But if it is, I think it's a very cool plot device, that Earth is buggered and you can't land there because it's been absolutely wrecked, or you do and it's all an ice age and you see like glimpses of monuments of man like buried into sheets of ice. That's all cool stuff. I think that would be a fine way to do it.
I think there are 3 possibilities, the last of which is the most likely. First is that the boring, it's destroyed, whatever, that's kind of boring. I'm just saying. The second of which is my thing is I think it's going to be just like off limits. Whatever, Earth is just under high security. No one can enter unless you're like a specific whatever. And the third one, which is the most likely, is you click Earth and it loads in Microsoft Flight Simulator and you just kind of use that to walk around.
Oh man, that would be great. Or it loads up Fallout 4.
Yes, yeah.
And you're just like, oh. I do think that's kind of cool. Like if they put some Easter eggs, like you go land on a planet and you land on the world of Elder Scrolls. And you walk around there, and you've got the whole of Elder Scrolls. I feel
terrible for the YouTubers that like go through and search for every Easter egg for a game like Starfield, because they're gonna put random Easter eggs in the most random locations.
Oh god, yeah, you would if you could, right?
Yeah,
so, I love it. Great idea. But yeah, okay, there you go. Next question, Nick.
Okay.
Also
DirtyFlint.
Superchat.
We should have asked this at the start. DirtyFlint. Hey, Stankies.
Yeah.
Is it okay that I spent money to play as Naruto in Fortnite? Will it get me women?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I saw there's like a whole bunch of Naruto stuff.
Yeah.
I need to pull back on buying Fortnite skins. I haven't bought one for a little while though. I didn't buy Obi-Wan, so I'm proud of myself there. I didn't buy Obi-Wan. Because the problem is I buy all these skins and then I just keep using Chun-Li.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Why am I still buying these skins for?
The skins, man, why would you buy someone like Darth Vader or Spider-Man and then run around with a gun shooting people? It just kind of seems to me like, okay, that's kind of weird.
That's what I mean. It is advertising, marketing the game. And it's
cool though. I get it.
It definitely is now.
But at least personally, I feel like I haven't played Fortnite, but my brother played a lot and he showed me his skins. And I like the ones where it was like the end of the battle pass and it was a really cool skin that was a Fortnite skin. You know what I mean? It wasn't like John Wick. Well, John Wick actually works, but it wasn't like Doctor Strange.
I got John Wick. I also got Wish.com John Wick.
Before they actually had the John Wick license, right?
Yeah, before they had the license, they did this fake John Wick. And I call him Wish.com John Wick. I bought him because I'm like, oh, how else are we going to get John Wick in Fortnite? So I bought him, and then the real John Wick came like a month later. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So I have them both. Okay.
I'm not judging.
Next question.
DeoGame.
Hello, panel. Did you see that comic that he put in?
Yeah.
So, Outrigged and I had a debate about this a few weeks back. What are the mascots of Xbox? Or I suppose more specifically, who are the mascots for each publisher? Until recently, for Xbox as a whole, it was Chief. No questions asked. Now, it's still Chief. He's on the damn box and in the damn Xbox. Haha. But Xbox as a collective is multiple publishers. So, with that in mind, who do you think is the mascot for each publisher? Personally, I think it plays out as follows. Xbox Game Studios Master Chief, Bethesda Doom Guy / Doom Slayer. So while Doom is not Bethesda's biggest IP, Doom Guy is iconic, whereas Fallout and Elder Scrolls mostly rely on player-made characters and rotating cast of NPCs. Yes, that makes sense. Activision, Captain Price.
Yeah.
That'll crash. That'll
Crash. Blizzard D.va DVA.
What?
DVA.
Diva.
I don't play Overwatch. DVA.
Yeah, but...
Diva. I don't know. I don't play. I've always just seen D.va, so I was like, I had no idea how to pronounce that. I was like, DVA, Diva, D.va. I don't know. Diva.
DVDA.
Diva. Okay. I'm allowed to have dumb moments.
Sorry.
Wild Tracer is the mascot of
was not
Overwatch.
expecting
Diva
that.
pretty much encapsulates Blizzard. An Overwatch hero who is pro in StarCraft 2 and has Blizzard references in her HOTS skins. What's HOTS
Heroes
skins?
of the Storm. It's their MOBA. Their
Okay.
League of
HOTS
Legends
skins,
game.
easy choice. King, Tiffy, the Candy Crush girl.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
Diva
right.
also encapsulates Blizzard in another way on another certain website on the internet. But that's for another discussion.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I actually kind of agree with all of those.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. I disagree with all of them.
Even
Not
Xbox?
Doom Guy. I agree with Doom Guy.
What?
Xbox Game Studios is Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh my
Yeah, but
god.
it's not. It's
If you said
not.
Forza Car, I would have agreed more than Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
It's Banjo. Banjo is a mascot. Master Chief's not a
It
mascot.
should be, but it is not at this point.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Do you guys remember that
is
one
the
Xbox banner?
definition.
Had a bunch of players and then just a car in it.
Forza
Like in
car.
the Sega's fighting game, where you fight with a Daytona car.
Yeah.
I agree with Bethesda as the Doomslayer because I can't really think of anything else.
No, Bethesda's not
This
Doomslayer.
Singular iconic character that you can point to.
Bethesda
it's
is-
Doom for Bethesda.
Dovahkiin. Bethesda's Dovahkiin, for sure. 100%. Everyone
the
recognizes
horn
Horn Guy, the Skyrim character. Everyone will recognize that helmet, for sure.
I'd go BJ Blazkowicz before I went.
What?
Nah.
No. People would be like, hey, is that
very wrong.
Is that
What?
Duke Nukem? No,
man.
Dovahkiin is
It's-
insanely recognizable. Like
Yeah.
it's next
Doom
level.
Guy. It's Doom Guy.
No, Nick, I think Doom Guy's cool and he's
Yeah.
easier to personify, but if you were to say Doom Guy and it was the pixelated Doom Guy from Doom 2, I'd recognize him. But if you know, outside of the fact, if I was just watching game, he is just another big green space marine.
People look at him and be like,
So
hey, is that the
BJ
Halo guy?
Blazkowicz then.
But again,
So
that's
BJ
just a
then.
white guy.
It's the horned helmets, for sure.
It's the horn helmets. That's recognizable. That's the mascot.
Skyrim is just way too big of a
Activision is
title.
Crash. Activision is Crash.
Activision is COD guy, in my opinion. Meaning the soldier with the sand behind him and the camo briefs. Just that's just COD guy. Whoever the usual COD person.
That's
they
just
have
the dude.
on
It's
the
just
cover.
a soldier.
I know, but that's
No,
what's
It's
recognizable.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Jesse has it up.
Well, I
That is
associate
definitely-
Talking
Crash
about
Bandicoot
mascots,
more
like
with PlayStation
mascots,
than I do
Sonic,
with the
Mario.
No, you're right though. It's Crash.
Look-
It's Crash.
It's Crash. Of course, it's Crash.
Spyro in the past, but with the recent Crash games, it's Crash.
Blizzard.
It's Arthas, I think personally. Yeah, probably an Overwatch character.
Who's that? Who's Arthas?
The Lich King.
Who's that?
Warcraft. Don't say what's that.
I don't.
Okay.
I've never played Warcraft. I have no idea.
It's
I
just
was
the
actually
dude
going
with
to
the white
say
hair.
probably something from World of Warcraft
Yeah.
because World of Warcraft is like humongous.
It's personal bias because I don't really play Overwatch that much. It's
What about
probably
the
is
devil?
Diva.
Maybe it's just the devil.
Diablo.
Blizzard.
Yeah,
It's just the devil. Just a demon.
Diablo. But yeah,
King. Yeah, I mean whatever.
I'm not going to argue with
something
King.
from
I don't
Candy
play any
Crush.
of this stuff.
King is
Something
a
from
fruit
Candy Crush.
or a piece of candy.
Tiffy works. Whatever.
Tiffy.
If Blizzard got to choose their own mascot, it would be Bill Cosby.
What?
Ugh, God.
He's referring to all the horrible Blizzard things.
Yeah.
And Bill Cosby's horrible things that he's
He
done.
was in the news again.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in the news again. Bob Lawpel. I wish I could watch your podcast as you do them, but it gets me through the night, and you are one of the best, if not the best, podcast for Xbox out there. Thanks very much, Bob. That wasn't
That's
a
right.
question. It was just
I like
wasn't a
reading
question,
that
it
kind of
was
stuff. I need more. Yeah, can we skip questions one week? Can we just have nothing but compliments?
compliments.
You know,
That's it. That was the last one too. That was actually the last one.
There is a super chat.
on.
Yes, there's a super
I'm
chat.
glad this super chat is here because this is what I wanted to finish the show on. So
Yep.
please read it out.
Tai Casares, off topic. This is a $30 super chat too. $30
Wow.
Australian super chat, which is like
It's like 100,000 UK
That's
pounds.
£2.
It's like £2 or so. Yeah. Off topic, I've been watching The Boys Season 3 and I'm loving it. Do you think Microsoft might revive the prototype series or will someone make The Boys game? Have a great weekend, boys, and thanks for the fantastic content. Yeah, The Boys Season 3, man. Did you watch Herogasm?
Of course I watched Herogasm. I watched it last night and I was like,
what do you mean that dude's penis is 15 feet long?
my best mate just messaged me like while we're on air, like at 1:48 a.m. Oh my god, have you seen Herogasm? I'm like, yeah.
Oh my
it's
god,
really-
I've heard it was one of the best hour of television ever. People are telling me.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, it's really good.
It's certainly one of the best episodes of The Boys ever.
Yes,
because
it's a very good episode of The Boys.
It was the culmination of lots of plot threads coming into one place, and then
It was good. It was one of the better episodes amongst the sea of amazing episodes of this show, because this show is so damn good. But
that would be an Amazon game because it's their property.
Yeah, that's right. It would be made by Amazon. Yes,
but prototype is
the skeleton of Double Helix would try and make it
the reanimated corpse.
Yeah, the soldier boy, if you will, the soldier boy of studios.
Activision is prototype, or prototype is Activision, or
yes, Activision is prototype. They own the IP.
Yes, which means Microsoft will soon own it. But a boys game would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd love it.
And you're just Huey. You're just Huey, and you take V, and you just.
I don't know. I don't really like
Butcher
that much.
Butcher. But if they made a boys game, they have to keep the swearing. Like Butcher has to talk like that.
Yeah.
In the game. Otherwise, what's the point?
It's really funny how, as a Brit, when Karl Urban initially appeared as Butcher on our screens, I was a little bit mocking of his attempt at Cockney. But I really warmed to him because you can see he just loves playing that character.
Oh yeah,
so much.
He does it great.
Like,
I love the way he
like,
talks.
All right, you.
But the beauty of the way Butcher talks in Australia is it doesn't even register.
Yeah,
because that's how we all talk.
It's great.
So
the
actor
doesn't
even register
Australian,
at all.
Karl Urban, or no?
Karl Urban is New Zealand.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because he first appeared in Lord of the Rings. He was like a Kiwi local actor, I think.
No. Oh, he had been around a bit
in movies.
He had been around before that. He had been around before Lord of the Rings. That was his first
big break.
Yeah, I think that was his first big thing.
Yeah.
But he had been in like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's a great actor. Period, though.
He is. He was in Doom. He was in.
Yes.
He was in.
Dread.
He was in Xena, Warrior Princess. Thank you very much.
Really? Sorry.
He was in Born Supremacy. He was in Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Riddick. I really enjoyed his character in that. Yeah, he was the bad guy who wanted to take over the weird Gothic Empire and beat the Emperor.
Yeah.
He's
in a lot of stuff.
I mean, Thor, obviously.
The MCU as well. He's part of Marvel.
The best movie was Dread.
Movies.
Dread, yep, phenomenal.
Dread was fantastic.
He's great. He's great.
But his first big break was
Boromir's brother.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
I don't know his name, so I'm just gonna Lothomir. I don't even know. No, he wasn't Boromir's brother.
That was his first big break, but he's been in some.
He was Rohan.
Rohan, yes.
Yeah,
it's in Star Trek. It's in the newest Star Trek.
He is in the newest Star Trek. This is McCoy.
Oh,
yeah, correct. But yeah,
he's also fun fact. He's also an uncredited stormtrooper in Rise of Skywalker.
Cool. So's Daniel Craig.
Is he really?
Daniel Craig is Force Awakens, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. He is in Force Awakens. Yeah, he's one of the stormtroopers. I think that has to give the gun when Rey first uses mind control.
Yeah.
Karl Urban also does the voice of Bob in Ark, the animated series.
Wow.
What? like the game Ark?
Yeah.
That's another Vin Diesel connection there, I guess.
Is it?
He's going to be on Fast and Furious any day now.
Right?
But yeah, okay. Yeah. That's it. That's our show for this week. If you're not watching The Boys, definitely go and do so. It's a really good show.
Watch The Boys.
Unless you can't handle violence. It is very gory.
Unless you can't handle violence and like full on swearing. Because I know, again, Americans are very funny about see you next Tuesday.
Yeah,
like
there's a word
Americans
really
respond
don't
to
like.
that word so differently to Brits and Australians.
Wait,
like,
When it's
Australians
done
in
by a
particular-
Brit, though,
See you next
it's
Tuesday?
okay. If
Oh,
an
oh my
American
God.
says it,
Oh
it
my
means
God.
something. We know it means
See
something
you next
different.
Tuesday.
Yes, yeah, I figured it out. But no, to be honest, when it's an Australian,
See, there's your diva moment. There's your diva moment. So I had
Okay, but-
D.va and DVA.
come on, Harley something, Trevor.
You just dug that hole even more for yourself, my man. Like it's
No, but
See you next Tuesday.
as a Canadian or American, when you see someone with an accent saying it, it's just funny. It's just pure.
I know, but
comedy.
Americans are just very weird about that word.
Yeah,
They're super weird about it, like in a way that freaks me out.
It has a much more different. It has
Yeah.
a different meaning here. It's the biggest insult you can give a woman, essentially.
But it doesn't have a different meaning. That's the problem. It's the same meaning.
It's just the way the word's
It's
used.
just-
Yeah.
in Australia, in particular, we've taken the word and we've blunted it. Like
It just means
we
mate
use it
over
for
here.
everything. We even use it. What was that?
It just means mate over here. You right? You.
Yeah,
You know,
like we
it's
just say
exactly
it for
how
like
it's-
everything, good
Yeah.
or bad.
Yeah.
Like even if, like, let's say you're really good at a sport,
Yeah.
right? In Australia, we'll call you're a mad thing.
Yeah.
In a good way. It's like, man, you're a mad cuh. Like we'll just
Well,
we'll
if
say it
you
for
have an
that.
accent, we know you don't
Yes.
mean it the same way.
Yeah,
so people
exactly. Same thing with the
can say it.
FAG. Same thing.
Wow.
See, I just say
But why
the
does the accent matter? It's still the same
because
word.
it means something different there. The actual intonation, like what you're going for, is very
Yeah.
different.
It
than
implies a
this
different
country.
culture, a different
Wow.
intention.
It is multi-use over here as well. We can use it in a positive way, but
So
we
do
can
we.
also quite happily use it, and Australia
Yes,
in a
that's
negative
right.
way,
So-
and mean
and
it
so do
exactly
we.
the way Americans.
Yeah,
might
and
mean
but
it.
it's only ever negative here. It's never like a positive. We don't have
okay.
the
No one
two-
ever
the
joke
different
with it,
versions of
I
it.
guess would be the Also,
Yeah.
wait, Butcher does an Australian accent in the show.
No, he's doing.
No,
he's
it's
attempting to
really
do a British accent. But
Why do
really bad.
Americans and
Cockney.
Canadians always conflate the two?
No way.
You know, on Xbox Live, for years on Xbox Live, I used to get like racist comments that are like, you British piece of shit. I'm like, I'm not British. I'm Australian. It's not the same accent.
It's worse. It's worse.
That's
Being
hilarious.
British
Oh my
shit.
God.
Okay, I can recognize the Kiwi accent. I'm pretty sure, but man, I swear I thought he was doing.
But Kiwi and Australian are almost exactly the same.
There's a bit of a difference.
There's a slight difference in certain words. Like, if I say I want to shear my sheep, that's how I say it. But a Kiwi would go, I want to shear my sheep. Like, they'd say it a little bit differently. I don't share my sheep with nobody.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, the Kiwi accent's probably closer to South African,
Yeah,
if anything, than it is to Australian.
yeah.
Speaking
of shows and Kiwis,
yeah,
watch
like-
Flight the Concords. Good show.
I love how I
see
love
a classic Kiwi accent YouTube video animation called Beach Whale, which I would love it if you could play.
Well, I
on the
mean,
stream right
Taika
now.
Waititi is,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
From
Oh
the-
yeah, he's New Zealander. Yep.
Okay, I can play this, though none of you will hear it.
Oh.
Give me a second.
I'm
Give me a
beached
second.
in.
No,
have
it
to
could be
be
that I read The Boys first. In my head, I just thought he was Australian with the accent. That could be it.
Cool, there's bro.
Oh, no.
Bro.
Oh, no.
Chips, brew.
Oh, I'm beached, bro.
It's so fun.
I'm beached ears.
Oh no.
Hey, bro. Oh, hey, bro. What are you doing, bro?
Like when you hear
Dude,
call
I'm beached ears.
in
Oh,
MCU.
shit.
know,
You're
yes,
beached
very
ears.
distinct
Tell me
accent.
something I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's that Kiwi accent.
I mean,
You're
again,
heaps
Flight the Concords.
beached
I
ears.
Wi-Fi.
love that.
So
Hey,
beached.
Thor.
Everyone should watch it.
Hey Thor,
Beached
this
ears.
guy's calling me a dickhead again.
You want a chip,
Like
bro?
that's
That's pretty good.
As in a
that
chop.
Kiwi
Yeah,
accent.
chip.
Yeah,
it's great.
Noob Master 69.
Noob master, I love it. Right, okay, that's a great way to end the show, I think. Aarsal, thank you
Piss
very
off,
much
Ghost.
for joining us.
Yes.
Episode.
Thank you. No, thank you for that.
I love it.
Me in.
Korg is the best.
It was a good laugh.
He's so
It's always fun.
Piss off, Ghost.
Oh man, great to be here.
Cheers, brew.
For those watching and want to see or hear more of me, we're on every other Thursday for a Halo Focus podcast. We're on again this week, Thursday at 7:15 p.m. EST.
Awesome. Good. I'm loving the info drop. That was very professional as
Yeah,
well, considering the
Austin
complete
has-
unprofessionality of this podcast tonight.
Austin's starting to do like really like solid outros. So he's kind of. I've been taught to like have answers ready.
Yes, and if you want to know, our site will keep having reviews hitting nonstop. There's smaller titles coming, not big ones.
Ferry's been busy.
Phobia, St. Difna Hotel, and F1 2022 and stuff. There's smaller things coming closer to when they launch.
Yeah, absolutely. And loads of stuff coming down the pipeline for day one as well. We'll be back next week with Rumourmill Part 2, as Nick's already alluded to.
I was going to go with 2 today, but I'm like, I'll just do it.
That's great. You know, it's
because I want to get a bit more clarity on a couple of things, and then I'll. Yeah.
Awesome. But thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us this evening and spending some time. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm going to go to bed.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Well, it's your fault we're late.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
We started the podcast late because of you.
It's all me. It's my own doing. I've been hoisted by my
It's like that.
Well,
Chandler,
at least you're awake
Chandler
though.
Monica, because of you.
Because of you.
It didn't feel like it was 2 a.m. for you, considering your energy. And
I'm
awake.
a night owl anyway. I could carry on till 4 a.m. if need be, but I'm not gonna because I've got kids. But yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you guys next time.
Piss off, Ghost. Ciao for now.
I'll beach this, bro.